Good evening, everyone. It's a special Armoury TV edition. We're actually 1 year old today. And wow, what an evening we've got for you for the next 3 hours. We're going to have a whole heap of features, a lot of discussion, a lot of debate, but ultimately, we're celebrating the 1 year of the Armoury TV. Let's get to it. You like that. Hey, listen, guys, thank you for coming on, man. Let me go clockwise for this little celebration here that we have, and we have our esteemed panelist guests here. First and foremost, Notorious. They're doing well over there on the other side of North London at the moment. Look at the big grin says it all. We got Sam Spurs for life from Paxton Road. How you doing, sir?
Representing Paxton Road to the fullest, as you can see. I'm all good, my friend Canners. You know I'm all good. So I'm looking forward to this. Egal, Benny, whatever. Oh, he got something else. He got another one. He's
just disappeared.
Backup. This is good, man. This is what I like to see.
No backup needed, because when you got the man like Egal here, tell you what, Egal, blessed to have you on, brother, man. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just finished the stream, ready to cook another person if Sam goes out of line.
You best have gas. You best have gas, fam, because you're gonna need something serious. So we're
love it. Hey, this is gonna be a fireworks night tonight, boy. Flip's sake. Brenny K74, how you doing, sir? And welcome to our celebration.
Thank you very much. Yeah, welcome to you all and everyone in chat, and happy 1 year.
Yeah, no, that's blessed.
No,
so
happy 1 year, by the way.
Yeah,
so yeah, first time for everything.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, like, you know, from the Armoury TV, is just give a massive thanks to everyone, you know, that has subscribed to date. Our regular guys who are in the comments, you know, the regular panelists, the featured panelists, you know, man's like Egal, Sam Spurs. This won't be anything without you guys coming on onto our streams. And also, you know, I'm gonna go with, you know, the certain guys, like, you know, you got the Niger Englishman who's always fashionably late, Chris King, who loves to chew your ears off. He won't let you talk sometimes, but, you know, we love him all to bits and everything. Big Steph being controversial. All of them, you're going to see all of them later on this evening. But you know what? First and foremost, man, I just want to say it's been a rocky year for the Arsenal. It's been a lot of improvements. I have to say, it's been ups and downs. But in this year, from the 30th of June 21 to the 30th of June 22, listen, we could be happier, but we're doing all right. It's not been a bad year. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we got Gunnar Lex coming in. As I said, certain man's being fashionably late.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Gunnar Lex, how you doing, brother?
I'm not in the country. I'm in Portugal, so just touched down.
That's how that's how we do on the Armoury TV. You know what I mean? We're international.
Kind of Lex, if I were you, I'd stay out the country too. It's not happening down here for you much, so stay there. Portugal's nice, man. Sunshine and everything.
Was you part of that deal to get Vieira to the club?
Yeah. I had a little chat with him. You know, I said, look, I come down. You know what I mean? Just give him a little meeting and everything. So
Did you get him a donut? Did you get him 2 donuts? Because he needs to put some weight on. Fam. Serious weight.
I
But
might eat
that's
one
what
of
I'm
them
saying.
donuts, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. The sugar ones, that will get it on quickly. The pounds you might need.
Wow.
Anyway, this is not the show. This is, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's a birthday celebration, man. It's a
birthday
birthday celebration. But you know what? First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody that is subscribed, everybody that's contributed. We've got the creative gurus doing all the lovely stuff behind the scene as Egal, lovely, you know, nice little kind of like, oh, that's a nice one. The intros there, those kind of things, you know what I mean, won't be without. You know, it wouldn't happen without those people behind the scenes. So you know what, it's a massive celebration to be going for a year. Listen, man, it's blood, sweat and tears, mainly tears with Arsenal sometimes, you know what I mean, more often than not, but
Yes.
hey, we're here. So without no further ado, I'm gonna welcome Sam. I'm gonna welcome you. You know what? Today's been a look at the grin. The grin says it all. Let's go on to the hot news and for you guys today, Ricarlison, and how you feel your season is shaping up, or your preseason is shaping up. Come on, man. Grace us with that big grin once more. Well, go once more. Grace us with
to actually boost my chest. So I'm gonna say,
man, big it up.
Clip up all the rest of it, because I said it and I'm saying it live. Say it on our channel. Say it on this channel. Say it on any channel, Twitter. Look it up. We are going to win the league or the Champions League this season. Yeah, hold on.
Jesus!
You know you're drunk, right?
Wow!
Who's clipping this?
Wait. Don't forget about clip.
Whoa.
You think you're gonna win the league?
Or Champions League, you know?
No, forget about Champions League. Conte's record in the Champions League alone is terrible. There's no way you're gonna break that curse.
Listen,
but you think you're gonna win the league?
Can has asked me a question and I give him the answer. If we want to discuss further, we can do that. That's not the problem.
Wait, is that your expectations? Or
Next season's football manager.
I don't know if someone's not hearing us, not hearing me. As I said to you, you can clip it up, but I said we are going to either win the league or the Champions League. I don't know what's so hard to hear.
Ooh, I think that
Is that wait a minute? Was this?
That's how I'm going. I'm going boost my chest. Like, what are you supposed to do when you're getting managers like how we've done, and you know, players like how we're getting? Okay, I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
That's unrealistic, Sam. You guys haven't won a trophy.
Oh my God,
a league trophy in years.
When someone asks you a question, you give an answer. It's not you to tell me what my answer should be. If you don't like my answer, say you don't like it. And now you give your rebuttal to tell me why you think not. And then I'll come back to you and tell you why I don't think you're going to be anywhere close. But that's a different story. So let's forget about Arsenal. Let's talk. Because this birthday celebration is going to go pear-shaped very soon. Pear-shaped. I'll make sure it's going to go that way.
All right. One at a time.
1 second, Candace. Sam, you said something which I wholeheartedly disagree with, and I think is a delusional take for Tottenham to be winning the league. And I think a lot of Tottenham fans would also agree with me. That is a push too far. I think that's an extreme take. Realistically, why do you believe you can get from a team that finished wherever you finished last year to finishing fourth to now overtaking City and Liverpool? That is just unrealistic. And also to say you're going to win the Champions League, Conte has never done well in cup competitions. Where has he finished? His last, what is it, 10 years in the Champions League, he didn't get out the round of 16.
You've had to do this quite a few times, haven't you? Because you've had a lot of arguments on lots of spaces, I know. So you're practiced in this. It's all good, my friend. Not a problem. Let me try and give you some information for you. Okay, so new season. We've got one of the top managers in world football. Do you want to agree or disagree with that? It's up to you.
Conte is a top manager. I agree with you there.
Thank you very much. Has Conte not won the league with the other teams that he's been with after X amount of time?
Yes, he won the league.
So what's to say that he cannot do that with Spurs, with the players that he may get, that he wants to get, with the World Cup in this year, with 5 subs getting, with a lot of things that are going to happen that's going to make this season a bit of an individual season. What do you
You've got
say
players
about that?
You've got current players that hasn't won anything with Tottenham, and new players that hasn't won anything. Basuma and Richarlison. So
I'm
go
trying.
on,
I'm
you
trying,
answer,
because
you
we can do
answer
this
that
all day.
question.
It's
You
easy
answer
for
that
me to
question.
sit
Go on,
here
go
and
on,
say
go on.
I'm going to do this, and for you guys to say no, you're not. That's very simple game. But if
No,
you
no,
want
no.
to talk about it,
Let's get
you
into
want
the
to talk
granular
about it, then we
details.
can
Let's
talk
get
about
into
the
the granular
details. It's what
details.
I was trying to do. But if we're just going to say no, you can't because you're playing, then we may as well just finish the stream now because
Yeah,
it's just
no,
going to
no,
be a
no, no.
silliness.
I
We can
agree with that.
discuss things, and then we can get into information and
Okay,
discussion.
let me
That's what I
ask
want to
you,
do with you,
Sam.
man.
I'm going
I
to be
don't
very
want
simple. I'm going to be
stupidness.
very simple.
Mhm.
Man City and Liverpool, to overtake them, it takes a lot. I don't think even with the squad depth that you're currently bringing in, that you're equipped enough to in the league to reach up to 90 points in the league. I think that's what it'll take to win the league, right?
I think
And
being
second point, if you're gonna say Champions League, do you know the last time Antonio Conte was in the quarterfinals of the Champions League? The year. Do you remember that year?
Now, what I'm going back to the point. I don't know why it's like I can't say what I want to say. And just because Conte hasn't done this, when Arteta won your cups, he hadn't done nothing. But I didn't hear, oh, Arteta hasn't done it. So I'm going to bring your manager in as well because your manager done exactly the same. Won something that he hadn't done before. So
we won
does that
the
make
FA
it
Cup 2 years
hold on. Does it make it an impossibility for Spurs to win the Champions League?
Bro,
That
you
we've been in
haven't
the
won a
final-
trophy.
Considering that we've been in the final before 3 years ago, is it an impossibility to say that Conte cannot take Spurs to the final and win it?
Yes. By hearing that number about Conte.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can finish now. All right. So I
Absolutely.
don't want to speak no more, Canners. Cool. Let your people do your thing.
Sam.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
I just want to have
do your thing, brother.
I just want to have one discussion with you. It's not about oppressing your thoughts. I'm not oppressing your thoughts. I'm not oppressing your opinions.
But I asked you a simple question, and you gave me an answer that you know is not true. It's an incorrect answer you give me.
Okay.
So if I'm going to do this with you, I don't want you to lie to me. I don't want you to lie.
I won't lie.
All right.
The probability of Tottenham winning the league.
That's the better discussion, the probability. But don't say no to the answer when I give you the information.
I am giving you.
That's all I wanted to say to you.
Okay, let's do this. We can do the banter thing. We can do the banter thing, but Sam, let's do the football thing now. Realistically, a team that hasn't won a league or a Champions League or any domestic trophy since 2008, to expect them to take the bounce and go from that to winning the major honors, which is either the league or Champions League, is very tall suit. Now, I know you almost did it in a couple of years ago when you're in the final against Liverpool, but it showed that you didn't have the experience. You almost did it with winning the league with Pochettino against Leicester, but it showed that you didn't have the experience. And correct. I am saying you first have to taste some silverware, such as Jose Mourinho did, winning the League Cups or the FA Cups. So then you can maybe go for the other trophies. First, try to win a trophy before you say you're going to win the trophies.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. That's really good for you. Thank you for that. Because you just mentioned about the experience part. You said we hadn't won it because we didn't have the experience. What are you saying about our experience now? Would you say we're more experienced with the players we got and the manager than we were in 2019? Answer that question. Would you like to do that for me, Egal?
What, in terms of players or coaching staff?
You can hold on, Kenneth. I'm asking
you definitely have more experience, but yet the core of this team has not won anything with Tottenham.
Okay, so on your basis of what you said, if we are more experienced and we reached the final in 2019, would it be impossible to suggest that a more experienced team with a more experienced manager that could get to a Champions League final? Because remember, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to give you the information to say why I think. Do you think that's an impossibility for it if Conte can?
Nothing's impossible, but the probability is very low.
I think Spurs will win the league or the Champions League, and you guys are just saying no. And I'm giving you
no. We're not saying no. We're not saying no.
We can't do that. And then I'm saying about the experience, and I said this is the reason why, and you're still not willing to accept it. So
experience playing as together or as winning trophies.
I think the round of 16 of the Champions League is realistic for you guys. I think finishing second, third is your ceiling for this season, in my opinion. I don't think this is the year where Man City get overtaken or Liverpool get overtaken. I think it will take Conte implementing his system this season, and maybe the following season you could strive for those things. It's still too early in this project.
Time. There's 6 Gunners mans on here. It's a Gunner celebration. Let's go into the Gunners, yeah? Gunner celebration. This is what I said to you. It's gonna go pear-shaped very quickly. I don't want to mash up the stream.
No,
I'll defend the thing to the hilt, man. And you mans will all get picked up. So go back to the celebration and let's talk football. Let's just talk a general football. Let's talk a general. We can do this in your spaces because you got plenty of spaces. I can come on to you and we can have this discussion.
I just want to say something.
Egal on Twitter, Egal on my own channel, and Egal here is the same person.
That's good then. Fact.
I just want to talk football.
Listen. Let me just say one thing for one. Yes, there are 6 Arsenal fans here to one Tottenham, and as I said, you know what? It's not. We're not ganging up here to kind of like rinse him or whatever.
And now it's 6, but we're not ganging up.
No. What we're saying is that you're our guest on here and everything. I honestly didn't think he was going to come at that. That was wild, in my opinion. However, you believe that, but listen, I didn't think we was going to go there. But listen, I love it. I love it.
We might be 5th. You know, we could be. What did you think I was going to say?
No. It's true. You know what? You got to trust your team. You got to go. You got to back your team, etc. And it's right. The probability of this happening is probably very small because you got to overhaul the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Who knows what? I'm not saying Man United are going to be anywhere near, but playing Man United on a one-off game might be a little too much for you guys. You never know. Listen. It's all love,
as you say. Speculate. And my speculation.
Football is not a science, and anything can happen. So listen. First and foremost, as I said before, I'm thanking you for coming on here. As you're adjusting your top, Paxton Road. I love that. Okay. I know you got big chest and big shoulders, and you can hold it.
That's why I'm here on my jacks. You know,
that's how I love it. Anyway. And look, for the fashionably latecomers, Niger and Kanabi, how you doing, guys? You good?
First of all, I want to say I've missed you, Sam. I'm not going to lie, bro. I come on and I see energy straight away. Big up, Sam. And I respect it because he actually came on the show with all us Gunners. And that's how he invited me on Paxton Road with all the Spurs fans. So it takes a big man to come on with all the rivals like this. So big up, Sam. First things first. Now, my people. How you doing now? Are you guys good?
Yeah.
Wait, first of all, it's a celebration, so.
Hey!
Yes. Sorry, had to get the vuvuzela out. Big up the Armoury TV. Happy 1-year anniversary and all that.
Oh, and just before that, I was just gonna. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. I bet you want to party like it's your birthday. 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 You have to cut off now before we get, There we go. I had to get that in. Carry on, sir.
Nah, but how's everyone doing, first of all?
No, we're good, man. We're blessed, man. It was just, you know what? There was no. Oh, no warning for that, Sam. You can't do us like that.
What I don't understand.
What did Sam say to kick it all off? Like, what did he say?
Hold on.
I said, hi, how are you?
Let me try.
Good evening.
Let me try and put some. So I come on, smiling as I was always doing. It doesn't even start off with, It's like, okay, so what are your expectations?
No. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
Hold on. We got it on tape. You asked me straight up, what are my expectations? So if you want me to come in and say, we could be struggling for top 4 here and 5th, what the hell do you think I'm going to do? Do you know what I mean? We've got top 4. We're boosting up things in the transfer market at the moment.
I was asking about your transfers and
we're gonna get onto that as well. We're gonna get onto that.
No, I want you to, because as I said, I was talking about your chest, how I like it's been puffed out, and I wanted to see those pearly whites. I love the grin. I loved it. So I wanted to talk about the good news for you lot today.
Hold on. I'm going to take a stop back here. Let me ask you about your transfer business so far. Since it's an Arsenal show with 6 mans on it, there should be some feedback I should be able to get. How do you think, Gunners, your transfer window is so far?
Well, considering we're still in June, very well, man. I'm excited. I got a top quality Brazilian striker at the club, and that was one of our biggest problems last season, not having a striker that could get to double figures. So I believe he's already proven he can get to that level. He's a proven Premier League winner, and I feel he's going to come to Arsenal with a chip on his shoulder to prove why he was supposed to be the main man at City in the first place. So I'm excited on that point. If our transfer window was to end tonight, or more problems day at the Emirates. Let me not lie to you. But it's still early doors, man. No need to panic. We've been linked with the positions that we want to fill. So there's still business to be done, man. That's where I'm at. Okay. I'm not excited yet. I'm not going to lie. I'm not excited yet. But a couple of things need to happen to get me excited.
Can I ask the same question to Egal? Then I just want to get your feel. I just want to get your feel. I just want to get your feel.
I think we're addressing the much needed issues in the sense of squad depth, getting players in the right positions. We needed Gabriel Jesus. I wanted Rafinha. It doesn't look like we're going to get him. I want Martinez. Hopefully we do get him. I know Man United are interested in him also. And it looks like we're shopping. All of us are shopping in a similar market. Us, Chelsea, yourself, and Manchester United. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets which players. I'm hearing you guys are now interested in Tielemans also. So if you guys do get him, really? That would be a march on us.
Again, I'm going to go back. And this is sensible discussion. We can have this. I don't believe in all the paper talk. There's going to be agents pushing information. There's going to be players wanting to get out. There's going to be, there's all reasons why the media could put it. I'm not sure about the Tielemans thing, personally. I don't think he's a player that we need. I would say if I was looking at Spurs, what we might need is more of a creative midfielder in if we're going to play a 3-4-3, depending on if we're going to play a 3-5-2, we need that possibly number 10.
Would you take Eriksen, Sam?
Would I take him? I would take him, but not as a starting 11 all the time. I'll take him if we're going to change our shape. It looks like we're going to go over our 3-4-3 with a flat 2, and now we've got one of the best midfielders in that middle to kind of fill that role. So I think that role is sorted for us.
If we have to, Eriksen wants to play, that's why he's picking between United or Brentford over Tottenham.
Well, good luck at United if he wants to go to United. That's up to him. Brentford, well, he won't be playing Champions League football or any type of European football. So the cards are with him if that's the case. But again, media reports suggest to me if we wanted to get this deal done and he was looking at Champions League football, he would have done that. So I'm not quite sure if I believe.
Was he with Conte at Inter?
Yeah.
And how did he get on with him there? How did he get on with him there?
The first part of his he didn't play too much, but the second year he did play. He did play a lot. Because
Conte man like Kanabi, what's happening, bro? What's happening? You good?
Silver Fox, we need you on the
stream. I'm good. What's up? Happy birthday. I want to wish you guys happy birthday, many more years. This is just the beginning. You guys are good. You guys are going to go on to great things. Big up the channel, big up Armoury.
Support and with the features with the mans like you, man. I mean, you make us look good.
Yeah, man. You guys make me look good, man. The other way around, man. Trust me, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love. By the way, I want to say I'm so surprised that somebody who has never won anything since Tupac died has so much confidence. It's crazy. The world is crazy, man. The world is crazy. This man has changed. The world is crazy. I mean, this guy hasn't, in our worst moment, we won trophies, and somebody in his best moment lost to Liverpool. That's the highlight.
Man. The world's gone mad because even Jesus can play football now. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, Jesus is a trophy winner. He's a trophy winner, and he's coming to win more trophies, man. How can you say you're going to win a trophy? Tottenham is cursed, man. And if you look at Conte's record in Europe, he doesn't even do well. He doesn't do well in Europe.
This is the conversation.
He doesn't do well in Europe.
Hopefully we won't.
I like the fact that Tottenham fans are talking now and they don't have trophies still. Saka has more trophies than Harry Kane, though. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
What channel is this? It's YouTube. This is YouTube, right? This is YouTube. we're digging into the History Channel, Discovery, all that shit.
This is facts now. This is present.
Do you know what? It's going to be a very, very interesting season. Very interesting.
Do you want to talk about last season as well? Do you want to talk about last season?
Did you win anything last season? Did you win anything last season? But you didn't win anything last season. You didn't win anything last season. It's still the same old story. You didn't win anything. When are you going to win a trophy? Apart from the Audi fucking Cup. I mean, come on, man. When are you going to win a trophy? Did they even give you a call when you won the Audi Cup? When you won the Audi Cup? Did they give you a call?
All right, time.
Do this all day, man. Do this all day, man. Come on, man.
All right,
How
we
can you
can
be
do this
happy?
all day, but this is not what we're about. We're about a celebration, and it's all nice and peace and love. You know what I'm saying? Even with our noisy neighbors, it's all good.
No,
It's all
noisy
good.
neighbor. You got one of me on here. One of me on here. One of me. Don't forget that.
Listen.
One of me.
This
And
isn't
I'm
about.
representing. So when
No,
I
you
start
are.
riling man's up, I'm ready for the shit.
No,
man. Take me
listen,
wherever
it's
you wanna
not
go.
about
Wherever you wanna
that.
go.
Tonight is not about that. It's about being nice. You know what I mean? That's why I'm bringing over the you know what I mean? Bringing over
Only
the
club
neighbors who
Tottenham
we
is going to
hate.
see this season. The only cup you're going to see this season. The only cup.
I got it. It's gone.
Right. Let's move on.
I'm not
Sorry,
gonna lie to you,
Nigel.
for the sheer fact that Sam is the only one on here, I'm holding back. I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to be
No.
considered a bully.
No. He was bullying Egg. He was bullying Egg. So I have to come back. I have to come in and stand in for Egg, man. Come on. You can't be bullying a gunner when I'm here. Nobody does that. Nobody does that when I'm here.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't win trophies. Get a Manchester United fan. Get a Manchester United fan, not a Tottenham fan.
Hey man, we can bring Sid in. If Sid wants to come on, man, bring Sid. Let him jump on. Sid, if someone wants to give Sid the link, tell Sam if you can. It's all good. Listen. It's not even about that. Listen, what I want to get onto now, really and truly, right? It's now this season, man. What's coming up? And obviously, as Nigel said, if the transfer window was to close tonight or tomorrow, we will be very much underwhelmed. So I'm going to come to the man's like Lex. Yes. Well, go on. You good?
Yes, all good here, man.
Out there in Portugal. So, tell me, for you, expectations for the Arsenal, and if we conclude some of the transfer dealings that I guess we kind of wanting, the likes of maybe a Tielemans in midfield, because we do need a midfielder, right? And maybe we do. I believe we need another winger. So, what are your expectations, and what to you would be failure?
So, expectations, number one, get back into the top four. That's a minimum for me. Especially,
you thought I weren't coming back, didn't you?
Especially about the amount of money that we're going to be spending. So expectation for me, for Arteta, is to get in the top four.
Yeah.
Looking at obviously what we've done so far in the transfer market, I like it the fact that obviously we got Jesus coming in.
We're still in June, man, and we ain't even finished.
That's what I'm saying. It's early, and then the fact that we're going in aggressive, going in bridge. Okay, with Rafinha. Yeah, obviously, at the end of the day, if you look at the amount of money that Chelsea's going to be paying, I understand why we're kind of standing on the side, just kind of anticipating, just looking at what's actually happening. You're looking at him, and his first choice is Barcelona. I mean, he looks like he's stalling anyway on the contract with Chelsea. But going back to what else we need.
Now, what's failure for you? What's failure this year for you? What is failure?
Okay, so Arteta, failure is getting, if not finishing inside the top four, and going and probably at least go on a good cup run. Because
so what if we finish out?
Hold on. Can I say something?
Go ahead. And you're our guest, man. You're our guest.
A good cup run. What does that mean? What does that mean?
And a good cup run. Well, getting to the final.
So you're not winning it.
Huh?
You're not winning it.
Well, to be honest, yeah. I mean, as I said, we've got the Europa League, so I mean, I would take that. Definitely.
What would you take? A good Europa Cup run or a good Europa Cup? What are you taking?
Don't answer questions from a man that doesn't have trophies, bro.
No, but I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to do this all day. I'm asking the question. I know every single answer comes back as don't let a man ask you who's got no trophy.
No. All right. Time.
What is a good cup run? Is it to go to the final? Is it to go to the third round?
That's a good question. It's a good question.
It's good question. As I said, it's getting to a final.
And so when you don't win the final, that's cool.
I'm not saying it's not cool,
Ah,
but
okay,
I'm
so
saying
what is a good cup run? A good cup run is to win the trophy.
No, the
I'm
question
saying a
was-
good cup
the
run for
question
us
was
is to
the
win a
minimum.
trophy.
How can a
Hence the
Spurs
reason
fan
why I
say
said
win a
to
trophy?
win a league or to win the Champions League. That's a good cup run. A good cup run is not
Yeah,
getting
but
to
I
the
mean,
final.
listen,
That's not
we
getting.
can all have.
So you're happy with that?
No, but
You're happy with that after last season.
No, I'm saying progress. I'm not going from us going to top 4 to saying I'm winning the Champions League and winning the league. That's fine. We can all dream. But
After 3 years of your manager,
question.
after 3 years of your manager, from eighth to now, what is it, 5th? Next
And
season,
2
what
trophies.
are your
And 2 trophies.
expectations?
And 2
What's
trophies.
what's
2
our next-
trophies.
Forget about there because that's way over there. But I'm looking
2
right.
trophies.
I'm looking right, not left.
2
I'm looking
trophies.
right.
2
What's your
trophies.
expectations for
Pochettino
next
has
season?
0. Your
That's
best
what
ever
I'm
manager.
Exactly. Because
Pochettino
boys
has
down
0.
here still telling me the same
Pochettino
All
has
right,
0.
right. Let
Putting
the
up
man
the
talk.
numbers.
Let the man talk.
So
Listen,
Lecky,
the
what is
minimum-
How
your
can a Spurs fan talk about
As I
trophies?
said-
This is blasphemy. You guys are too nice, man. Come on, stop this shit. What the fuck? I've been keeping quiet for too long. A Spurs guy talking about trophies? Come on, man. You know nothing about it. Nothing about it. Come on. Come on. Come on.
All right.
We're gonna win the league. But look, end of the day, it's fine, isn't it? Some people have dreams, some people are realistic. But yeah, as I said, the minimum expectation
After 3
is to
years
get in.
of Mikel Arteta, 8th,
Listen,
8th and
And he
5th.
won a trophy. What did
What are your
Pochettino do?
expectations,
back and
not
forth
to
with
the
him?
left, but to the right for next season? What do you want to achieve? And if you're telling
A
me a
trophy.
good cup run and 4th, then that is woo. We got problems in the camp. Big problems in
Yeah,
your camp.
listen. I think that the ultimate goal, for Arsenal, I would believe, was to get back into the Champions League, right? If we get 4th and as it says, good cup runs, maybe going long in the cups or whatever, maybe not winning one. It happens. It's a cup. So be it. But we would have met our target, i.e. Champions League football.
But you met your targets this season. You met your targets. Didn't you overachieve? Weren't you expecting to get 6 and you got 5th?
Yeah, true. So it's all about progression.
What was all the fallout for then?
No, there was no fallout. There was no fallout. There's no fallout. Listen, it's all about progression, and we're making progression. The only question. Listen, the only question I was going to ask Lex, the only question I was going to ask you.
There was no fallout after Newcastle. Please tell me that.
There was no fallout.
Listen, I watched your channel. Okay.
Listen, of course there's disappointment, but it's no fallout. Huge disappointment. Yes, because we should have beaten teams like Newcastle. We should have beaten teams like Southampton or what have you. But it happens.
Teams like Tottenham.
Well, yeah, maybe so, but we beat you early in the season. Whatever. Anyway, all I was going to ask Lex was basically, if we came 5th but won Europa, is that still for you
progression?
Yeah.
But that's Champions League football. That's obvious. That would be for me. I'd take that all day long now if I was Tottenham. That makes no sense. Now, if you're in the Champions,
you would take the Intertoto Cup if you had the chance.
Your goal.
Come on, let's be real. You would take anything at this point. Even the sardine.
Got in Champions League.
Right. Okay. Well, question then. Prefer 4th or Europa and 5th?
What, 5th and Europa?
Are we playing bingo here? Just tell
no,
do you want to win the league or not? Your man's are just playing bingo here. Forget all these bloody things about 4th and 5th and this kind of connotation. Tell me what you want to do. Do you want to win nothing? Because you're playing around here. I ain't got time for playing around. I put out my chest on your channel, and you man can't put your own chest on your own channel. Don't make no sense, man. Don't make no sense.
Did you just say the W
on your own channel? You can't boost your chest up like that.
No, but you did. You're not answering. But did you not say the W word? You said win.
Yes, I did, because I'm boosting up my chest because of what I've seen. So what you're saying is you're not confident of winning nothing next year. Because
no. It's not about not being confident. It's not about not being confident. We're probably being that little bit realistic, which someone at the top
realism
of this team.
Was last year. Realistically, last year was your realism. Realistically, you should have been 4th, but realism didn't work for you last season.
No, so realistically, we should have been 4th. We should not have been 4th.
So don't deal with realism. Tell me what your expectations are. I want to hear it from all of you, mans. Now, everybody.
Rennie K, 74 expectations, bruh.
Expectations for next season. Well, I want us to be challenging. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I just want us to be up there challenging. If we finish 3rd, or 4th, and we're 8, 9, 10 points behind whoever finished in first, then at least you can say, yeah, we gave it a go.
Boost up the chest, man.
You know, it was kind of, you know what I mean? It was kind of similar to that. And plus, I'm looking for us to at least go out and win Europa League. It can be done. Wembley appearance, FA Cup final, even win it. They're my expectations. You know, if I don't want us to be falling out the third round and fourth round of any competition, you know what I mean? So
what would it look like failure to you then?
Failure to me is if we finish fifth and we don't win the three trophies, that'd be failure for me.
Yeah.
If we sorry, you can ask.
Last season, basically last season. Then.
No. I knew you were going to say that, Sam.
No,
No.
Why are you so touchy? I'm just saying.
No, it's not touchy. We know you, Sam. We know you, Sam.
No, I'm not the touchy one, Sam. I literally just said one thing. You jumped at me. Let me just say this.
Sorry. What was that, Sam?
The reason
All
why
I said was, is it the same as last season? Because you got the same last season. You got fifth.
I was going to piggyback off what
last season for me was a failure. We failed.
Okay.
We failed to get in top four.
Thank you. Well,
I wasn't, to be honest.
I knew it was in there somewhere. It had to come out somewhere. It had to come out, fam. Well done. Well done.
But you failed too because you didn't win shit.
I like you. You're good.
Egal, please go ahead.
Sam, this is piggybacking off of what he said and what you said.
Yes.
Anything less than fourth or the Europa League is a failure. We have to get back into the Champions League minimum. If we don't get back into the Champions League and we finish fifth again, absolute failure. Basically, there has to be a level of progression from last season. If we finish third, right, that would be an overachievement in my opinion. I don't expect us to finish third next season. I expect us to finish fourth and win the Europa League. If we get one or the other,
can I just press a little pause on that?
If we get one or the other, I'm happy. And if we don't get neither of them, Arteta's got to go. There's no question about it. He has the most pressure. And I think every single person here on the panel would tell you that if he does not get minimum Champions League football, he needs to go. And on top of that, there might be even people in the back room that need to go.
Okay, so your point when I said the same thing about us winning the league, you said to me my expectations were too high because I've got to I've got to get enough points to go above Liverpool.
Who's winning the league? You?
No. Do I need to turn my mic down?
Don't say.
Do I need to just turn something down, please, so I can have my say? Egal, come back to you.
Can I let him talk, man? Let him talk.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
You said to me my expectations were too high because to get the point total to go above Liverpool and City would be what? What was your words? I can't remember your exact words, but not an expectation that I should be looking at as reality. I'm going to phrase it like that. So you're now saying your minimum expectations for not achieving failure next season is to get fourth or to get in the Champions League by winning the Europa. Let's say you don't win the Europa League. Who are you going to get above to be fourth next season?
Are you serious?
Who is this guy? Is he a dreamer? Who the fuck? Are you Martin Luther King? Who the fuck is this guy? Are you Martin Luther King? You have too many dreams. Stop dreaming. Wake up.
Let's
No.
Kanemi. All right. Well, one sec. We'll come to you, Kanemi. We'll come to you.
Okay, Sam. This is my thing. The Europa League, first of all, I'll address that one.
Could you answer the question, please?
I will.
Of the top 4 teams, which team are you going to overtake, or which team do you believe is not going to be in the top 4 for you to be in it? Don't mention Europa League again now, because I'm not mentioning Europa League.
I won't. Don't worry. I won't mention Europa League. When it comes to Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United, I think those are the 4 teams.
Man United is not in the top 4 from last season. Please answer my question. Of the top 4 teams last season, I'll name them for you: Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Yeah, you said Man United.
Sorry, Manchester City. I apologize. Manchester City in there. Freudian slip. Of those 4 teams, which team are you going to be above? If, let's say, Manchester City, Liverpool are way above, because that's what you said to me. They're way above. They're way in the distance, fluttering away. So either Chelsea or Spurs.
They're in their own category.
Which one?
I think there's going to be 2 spots available for Champions League football. I think Tottenham and Chelsea are the only 2 possible teams that can be displaced.
And which one do you believe?
And personally, right now, I think Tottenham is in a better place than Chelsea. personally. So I think if anyone's going to drop out of the top 4, I think it's going to be Chelsea. But at the
job's
same
done
time,
again. My job's done, family. That's what I'm trying to tell you. My job's
last
done.
year, let me finish, Sam.
I'm letting you finish. Don't you worry about that.
Come on, bro. Well,
I'm letting you finish. Sorry.
Okay. Because I thought you were saying something else. My bad. I couldn't hear it because I was speaking. But yo,
it's down here that does that, not me. Sorry. Last time.
1 second. When it comes to last season, if I would have asked you the exact same question, you would have told me that you would have thought Chelsea, or you would have thought Liverpool would have possibly fallen out, and you would have said, you know what, or Manchester United, and ended up being that Chelsea was the one that finished 4th, and Tottenham replaced Manchester United, and Arsenal were fighting for 4th. So at the end of the day, next season we don't know what's going to happen. All we know is we can prepare for it. And I personally think Manchester United are going to try to come back, but they're going to be trying to go for it. I think Arsenal are going to be trying to go for 4th. I think Tottenham are going to be in the mix for the top 4/3rd race, and I think Chelsea are going to be in there. That's why I mentioned Manchester United before you said don't talk about it.
I agree with that because
I think 4 teams are fighting for 2 spots, and that's
so in your opinion, though, it's more likely to be Chelsea than Spurs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so good. The
reason being, I'm not going to come out here and say deluded stuff like Tottenham is going to finish 8th.
No, that's cool. That's cool. But it's an Arsenal channel, so what do you expect me to do? That's what I'm saying to you. I don't know what you're going to do. But...
No, Sam, can I speak now?
Yes. You can. You've been doing that.
I don't understand, man. I've only spoken for 5 minutes and I've been hearing too much. And why are you bending down to this little trophy dodger? I'm pissed off. Like this guy. No. Listen. Let me talk, please. Let me talk. You cannot be humble to someone who knows nothing about glory. In your worst days, you had trophies. This guy knows nothing. Even if he bought Mourinho, what did they do? They sacked him because he was about to win the trophy because they don't like winning. What are you talking about? This guy winning the league. Are you a dreamer? Enjoy your Champions League football when you get knocked out in the round of 16 by Gnabry again. That's all I can say. But winning the league, bro, maybe on Football Manager, not in the real world. Maybe on Football Manager, not in the real world, bro. Come on. You, please get a Manchester United fan. Somebody who has won trophies. I need experience in winners here. Not people who don't win things and talk, yes, say this, that. Please do not ever bow down to this guy. He knows nothing about winning. Yeah? Last time you won a trophy, Tupac was alive. What are you talking about? Let's be real here. Who's this guy? Sit down, bro. Sit down. We win trophies. Last time you won a trophy, your picture was black and white. We win trophies.
100%.
Talking about
100%.
Fourth, third. You think that's what we want to be? You think we came being Arsenal fans by finishing 4th? We became Arsenal fans by winning the league. You became a Tottenham fan by finishing 4th. That's the difference between me and you. This is big clock. You know when DJ Khaled say, special clock talk here. You see this jersey? We won a trophy wearing this jersey. Show me a jersey that you won a trophy in. I'm done. You can off my mic now. Done. Happy birthday.
Yes, Kanemi. Yes. Oh my God, I can't even come back on that one. I don't think anyone can. Boom, done. Done. That's good, man. Done. Wrap. It's a wrap. But look, listen. I'm stoked on that one. Whoo!
Nah, but
as Ric Flair would say, listen.
It's just strange. We're in a time of day that us Arsenal fans never thought we'd see, where we see Spurs fans pumping their chest. Like, we never thought that there'd be a stage where they'd be doing that. So, like, it's not alarming that we're shocked at this. The way Sam's talking, Deji's talking, Patrick. There's a couple of, they're like building a little team now. I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, I've grown up knowing Spurs fans usually knew their place, but because a couple are finishing above us a few times, no trophies though, 0. Finishing above us a few times, they get chests now. But it's surprising. They're gonna do what Spurs do. We'll see.
How can Saka, who started playing football last week, have more trophies than Harry Kane? Do you know the reason why Saka missed that penalty in the Euro? So Harry Kane could not win a trophy. I'm sure that was the Arsenal man in him. Said, nah, fuck it. I'd rather lose this penalty than let this guy win a trophy. You die trophyless. The only trophy you have is golden boot. People can share it. You can win golden boot and share it. Useless club. Can you imagine this nonsense? What else did you win a trophy? Nigeria has more trophies than Tottenham Hotspur. What are you talking about? And we are useless as a football team. Please.
Jesus. Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a Man U fan or a Chelsea fan here. People that win trophies, please. Now, what is this? This is blasphemy. Please go away. I remove that plaque at your back.
I look forward to.
No, you don't win trophies. You don't win trophies.
Yeah? I look forward to your documentary because you could do one on your own. That would be a good documentary as well.
Jeez,
with trophies in it. With trophies in it.
What happened?
With trophies in it. With trophies in it.
1 second, Sam. Let's have a sensible conversation. What happened during your documentary?
We're now going to have a sensible conversation.
No, your greatest ever manager got sacked.
It's true. There's a lot that went on in that documentary. Man's went into the fans to rap with fans in your documentary. Woo.
Let's see what comes up in your one.
Yeah,
I got a feeling the beginning you lose 3 games at the end, you don't get top 4. Wicked. That's all I need to know.
Right.
But what happened during yours? You finished like 7th or 6th.
Okay. Yeah.
So they can't win the Conference League. Why are you arguing with this guy? Why are you arguing with this guy?
I never said the documentary was in any way saying this season. I never said the documentary was a pointer or a direction to what you're going to achieve. I just said I know what happens in it. That's all.
Bro, in your all or nothing documentary, the only trophy you had there was Mourinho's office. Real talk. They're going to show a cabinet of ours. They're going to show Premier League. They're going to show a gold one. They're going to show the old school one, the new school one, one with a new lion.
The fact,
bro,
when he starts to ring, Pep says, "What do I do? I picked up cons for you. What do I do now?" Because he's going to have problems. There's going to be so.
All right. We've now gone to. All right, guys. Let's bring some order back into this. Guys, please. Right, it's now coming tit for tat. That's not what it's about. Listen, I want to ask all of you basically just a serious question. Sam, please answer seriously. I'm
gonna have
honestly. So, give me your prediction for the league, the Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup this coming year.
Wow, is that how you're going?
Wow. Yo, Kenneth, I'm gonna head off. Congratulations on 1 year.
Just give me a name. Just give me a team who you reckon this year.
I think City's gonna win the league. I don't care about the rest right now.
As I said, I'm not being greedy. I said Spurs will either win the league or the Champions League, so one of the two. FA Cup, League Cup. If we win those other two trophies, I'm not really bothered about them. I'm not one of these who's greedy, who's going to say like a Liverpool fan, I want to go for the quad or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I just want to get the league or the Champions League. There you go. You can have the open mouth stares and everything. It's all good, man. Do you want me to give you my top 6 predictions? Spurs, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. Oh, did I say Arsenal 4? No, Chelsea, then Arsenal, then Leicester. Man United probably around about 8th.
Leicester. Where's Leicester coming from?
I have a feeling Leicester going to do bits. That's just my personal opinion.
Martin Luther King.
Wow. You can't give an answer without me.
I have a dream. Tottenham's going to win the league in the Football Manager 2023.
Wow. I tell you what, this has been Sam, you've given us some whoppers there today, bro. Seriously.
I said you can clip it up, man. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
Guys.
Yeah.
I need to speak to Sam on a level, man. Sam, on a level, like he's asking you a serious question. Like, who do you think is going to win the Premier League this coming season? Not at some point in your lifetime. This coming
I answered the question. Do you want me to repeat again? Spurs.
No, but you being serious when you said it, though.
Spurs, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Leicester.
I'm not gonna criticize your decision. I just want to know what has given you the battery in your.
You should have come on earlier, Nigel. Then you would have got that information.
Yeah. To be fair, bro,
I'll go and watch it before. So, but that is madness. I'm gonna go and watch it back.
I know it sounds madness to you guys, but the madness that I heard was when Egal was trying to tell me that you're gonna get top 4, and I'm asking who. And that's
Nah,
all
the
I wanna
madness
show
I
is-
had was Tottenham winning the
and
league. That is madness.
The argument that I had
madness.
before was that we can't claw back that amount of points to get there. So I'm trying to think, okay, so of the teams that are getting better, and I think we're getting stronger than you guys at this moment in time, I believe Chelsea will be stronger than you guys as well next season. How the hell are you going to get top 4? I don't see it. I don't see it personally. If you get an FA Cup, that's great. So it'll be all in an FA Cup. That's a good documentary. All
of the 4 players, you signed 4 players, right? You signed 4 players, yeah. Is it Forster, Perisic, Basuma, Richarlison? Honestly, I mean, the only player I would probably say who's going to be playing in your first, it will probably be Basuma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you.
No, look, I'll be honest about because I've said this before. I actually like Richarlison. I'm not going to front. I like
Richarlison, but I don't think he might rotate with Kulusevski. Yeah?
He'll probably start. I think he'll probably rotate with. I don't know. Like he probably won't start for the first half of the season, and then other than in cup competitions. I reckon personally, because is he going to bench or rotate Kane? And I don't think Richarlison plays from the right either. He likes to play from the left or in the middle. No.
Like I said, it's a long season with a World Cup in between, 5 subs. It's a lot of games that we have to play. We've got a lot of games to play this season. Conte wants a balanced squad. He doesn't want to have a best 11, 12, or 13. He wants a depth. The depth is what we're achieving now. So we are able to rotate. So the front 3 is dynamic in terms. We've got a central striker that hasn't had a rest probably in the last 2 seasons, so which means he always gets injured. That is now taken out of the equation for us because we can maintain rest for him. Son, Kulusevski, Richarlison's a perfect, but is he too expensive? I thought it was too expensive, if I'm going to be honest with you. But does he match what we actually need for the front position? 100%.
No, don't you think City's stronger though? They won the league without a striker.
Of course,
now they've
of course.
Considered one of the best strikers in the world.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's not a good thing for you to say. They won the league without a striker, and you got their striker. That's not a good thing to say. But I'll let that slide.
He played on the right.
Now they've got a better
he played on the right.
So now they've got a better striker, is what you should have said. In Haaland, yes, I agree with you. They probably are stronger. But I think we're a lot stronger. So yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. City second.
Wait,
you made man go silent, boy. Gumza, how you doing, bro? Listen, just obviously for the follow-on coming up at 9, we're gonna have your man Gumza. He's gonna be taking the reins, leading the birthday, taking on the reins for leading the birthday celebrations for the Armoury 1-year celebration. Listen, man, it's gonna be deep, man. It's gonna be deep. You got more people coming on, more guests. Let's see if anyone can top Sam. Shit, man, that's a tall order, boy. You kick things off for us tonight. But Gumza, how are you doing, bro?
I'm all right, bro. I'm just shocked with what I'm hearing, but I got to rate his confidence.
For Gumza to be shocked, you know that's something.
I got to rate his confidence, boy. His belief in that team, mate. I got to rate him, but
I got belief in my team and my managers and the players. Pre-season Conte. Let's see what happens, man. Like I said, time will tell. The old sayings are the best. Time will tell. This time next year, I hope we have a 2-year celebration.
Hey, there will be.
There will be
2-year celebration. Make sure I'm representing again.
You're going to be here without trophies.
I'll have the T-shirt and the hat. Do you know what I mean?
Without trophies.
And I'll have the red cup as well to signify the trophies as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Can I go now? Am I allowed?
So, Fox, just clip all this, please. Just clip.
Yeah, no. Just a couple more minutes, Sam. Just a couple. No. Seriously, no. 100%, Sam. If you have to go, please. Don't go.
Sam is Deji's father. Sam has to be Deji's father. There's no explanation to this. Sam is definitely Deji's father. I swear to God.
I didn't want the stream to. I didn't want the stream to go this way, but Sam, you just killed it, man. Right at the start there with that one, man. But it was bold, it was beautiful, it was lovely, it was funny, it was great. And I know this come this time next year, it'll be a different story. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But it's been blessed, man.
Nah, it's been
Listen,
a pleasure.
nothing but love for you, Sam. Seriously, man.
And
Absolutely.
In all seriousness, it's been all banter, lads. There's no personal.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Of course. It's nice to meet Deji's father, though.
It's been.
Before you go, when you're dropping bombs like Tottenham are going to win the league, you don't need to know. You don't need to clarify that as banter.
No, give us a warning.
No, big man. You get big up, Sam. Though, I miss you, bro.
Big up, Sam.
Big up, Sam. Big up, Sam. Big up, Sam. Big up, Sam.
Big up. Oh, wait. Just before you leave, I know it's an Arsenal channel, but just for trolling purposes, where can we find you?
I like that. Good way to win. Okay, as you can see, representing Paxton Road TV, you can find us alongside these guys on YouTube as well. We do match previews, match reactions, thinking about doing watch-alongs, although I'm not so sure. But that could be nice to do watch-alongs this season for us. Lots of wins in there. But yeah, come and find us at Paxton Road TV on YouTube. So that's it. Thank you very much, representing.
Bless, brother.
Big up, bro.
Big up. Big up.
Nice one, guys. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
No, thank you, man. It's been great. Thank you. Wow. As Ric Flair would say, woo! That was a start of the evening celebrations, boy. I did not expect that. Bruv, Brenny, K74, tell Kanemi and Niger and Gumza how it started like that. Because if you was ever to start, there was no warning, no nothing. It was all nice. Then it just went.
It was like, wow, it was like a flash. I mean, Sam must have had this Captain Morgan that I was on, but woo.
Sam was on a vibe today, bro. I don't know what he was drinking before the stream, but whatever that is, man, I holler at him for that when I come to London, man. Check that drink out, man. Serious drink.
Absolutely. Listen, Gumza, sorry, man. I was trying to get you on there, but you know, Sam was like,
he was
bless him, man.
He's the man possessed.
He came on with the fire, boy. To be fair,
he come on like Rob Holding in the Tottenham match, boy.
Rob Holding,
headless.
But that's why
we saw how that ended.
But that's how Kanebe came in like stone cold. There
was. But look, it's all love and it's all, you know what I mean? It's all bad. And I loved it, man. Listen, it's a 1 year Armoury TV anniversary, celebration, birthday, whatever you want to call it. But look, again, your man Gums is going to take on the reins for the next hour. He's also going to have a hella guest coming on. And they'll be kind of like talking all things. I don't know. Could it be Man United? Could it be any other whack teams or whatever? But you know what I mean. It's like, listen, don't send those Man United men if any of them coming on to you know what I mean, tails between their legs and all them ones there. You know what I mean. Be nice to them, Gums, man. Be nice. I'm
gonna be. Hospitality is my thing, so
yeah, man. Because them mans are hurting already, man. Be nice to them, man. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good. Wow, guys, that's the first hour done. I want to give a massive thanks to my man Niger Kanebe. Boy, I tell you what, man, you brought that fire.
Nah, to tell him straight. Can't be coming here dissing the Arsenal like that.
No, listen. It was. It was a Hiroshima bomb that he just put on our channel there. You know what I mean? When I was had to come and douse that bomb out, man, and you did that with aplomb.
Anytime, any day, my G. Anytime, any day, my G.
Love that.
It's a pleasure. So, I can't wait for the season to start, and I can't wait to enjoy Arsenal this season with you guys. I can't wait to go on your streams and whatever. We're going to definitely fuck shit up this season.
It's all love, brother. And I tell you what, as I said before, this is nothing without the people that are in the comments, the people obviously that feature on our channel, like yourselves. Enough people, man. So listen, all I'm gonna say is we out, and I'm gonna hand over the reins to Gumza, man, for the next hour.
Cheers, man. Peace.
Yes. We're back. It's the 1 year anniversary. It's the Armoury TV, and we've got another star-studded panel for the next hour. I'm gonna introduce these guys first. Sid Spurs, how you keeping, bruv?
I'm alright, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm good. Good to see you. Glad that you weren't intimidated by a whole lot of red around you.
Nah,
You're
I'm used to
sandwiched
it.
between the
I'm from
two.
up north. I'm from up north,
Yeah.
so I've had Liverpool and Man United all the time, and now I've got Arsenal here, so I'm used to red.
So you used to getting beat up then. That's not a problem. Good to hear.
You know
Good
how
to
it is.
hear. Also, next in we got my main man on Monday. What are you saying, brother?
Yes, man. Big up the Armoury TV. 1 year anniversary. You survived. You finally made it. I do want to say to Sid as well, don't worry, man. We have an alliance. Spurs and Man United have an alliance. When we're surrounded by these sort of hyenas, we stick together. So for the next hour, Sid, I got your back. Don't worry about that.
Good,
And I'm ready. I'm ready for you
We
guys.
got each other. That's good.
I just want to say I love the channel. I think this channel is full of everything. By the way, big up Damien and big up Brendan Winters as well. Two guys I know for a long time, from morning, you know. But I just want to say, yeah, Army TV smashed it. You got Gumza there, who's a tactical genius. You see his tactical breakdown show. I take my notes. I always have my notebook out, stealing ideas from him. The guy knows nothing about football. Great coach and a great man himself. And I think, where's Christopher King? I was hoping to see Christopher King here today because he's the cure for insomnia. This guy's the cure for insomnia. If you want to sleep and you're having trouble sleeping, just listen to Christopher King for like at least 5-10 minutes, and you'll be out for the count. You know, I want to see Bodie Bance, what's his name? Funny guy, Trevor, Tony. All you guys are representing, and I love you. Even though I'm a Man United supporter, I support you guys all the way, and I reckon you guys are going to blow up next season.
Blessings. And yeah, man, Monday as always is always love, bruv. Always love. So also we got a man like Akpos. What are you saying?
I'm good, Gamza. Good to be on the show. And I want to say happy anniversary to the Armoury TV and big up all the guests. Big up Uncle Amundi, big up Sid Spores, big up DJ Demos and Brazy Gunner. And also Messiah, big up Messiah Football.
Yeah, man, he's there. And Damos, what are you saying, bruv? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good. How you guys doing, man? Yeah, just want to say, big up 1 year. Do you know what I mean? So let's hope we can see many more years. You know what I mean? Keep the momentum going.
That's what the plan is. We're here to stay. We're here to stay. And now my residents, man like Brezzy, you there?
He's on the phone to Christopher King.
Yeah, man.
He's on the phone to Christopher King. That's why. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Happy anniversary, Armoury TV. Happy everyone.
Yeah,
long
man.
time
Good
no
to see
see
you back,
everyone.
Brezzy, man. For real. And it looks like we've got Big Steph there down there driving. What are you saying, bruv?
Steph, come in.
You must have seen a police car.
All right. And someone else is here for the smoke as well. He's not happy with a Monday calling them out. Nigel's here. What are we saying, Nigel, man? You still back? And someone else is here for the smoke as well.
My people.
No. Do you know what? I'm just back quickly. I'm just back quickly because I didn't hear Amondi big me up when he was bigging up all the people on the channel. He just was like, yeah.
I will say it now.
Everyone else category. What's that about, Amondi?
Just give me a little window now. I'm going to say it now. I just want to say to Kunle.
Yeah, say it to my face.
Kunle brings a smile to your face. What energy. What a great smile. I love this guy. And all the way from Lagos, you know, he's representing. He's got his own channel, One Touch TV. What a wicked show. International. Got people from all over the planet on this show as well, and he represents on Armoury as well. So I love you, brother. You're like a brother. I might not pronounce your name right, but you've got the energy, you've got the wisdom, and you've got the good looks as well. And I'm really jealous of you.
See, that's my guy on Monday. I can leave now. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Enough love. So we're here, obviously, entering pre-season. Transfer window's hotting up. A couple of teams are making some moves. I'll be honest, I think Tottenham have made some big moves. Arsenal ain't far behind. But there's one team that seems like they're struggling to get out of the blocks. So, Amondi, we're going to come to you. How you feel your transfer window's faring so far, and what do you expect to see from United?
So that's what Gamza. You said something sly there about me struggling to get the blocks. Right? We just made a world-class signing in Frankie de Jong. Now, this player is a class player, 25 years old, in his pomp. We focus on one sign at a time. We've had to cleanse out our club. We've made a lot of big mistakes over the last 10 years. 10 years since we last won a trophy, a major trophy. How long has it been with you? Longer than that. And with Spurs as well. It's been a long time for you guys. So all of us on this channel tonight, we've having a drought out here. But this is our 10th anniversary, just like you're having your first anniversary, of not winning any major trophies. So we change things up. We've cleansed the club and we've changed direction and we're making signings the right way now. Point taken with Frankie de Jong and then Terrell Malacia as well. These are two signings that have come in. Patience, guys. That's all we need. And also, we're hijacking some other bids as well. I hear you got hijacked by Rafinha the other day. Tried to call him up, Mr. Telephone Man. There's something wrong with my line. It didn't, he's hung up on you and he's gone. He's looking at Chelsea instead. And now you're gonna try and bustle in wild deals with the Ajax man. Then that's not gonna happen either because we're sniffing around. We say 35 million. We have some of that too. So we can discuss that later. I don't want to hog up the show. Obviously, I want to ask enough questions. I want to hear from the Arsenal man. I heard from Sam, Spurs for Life. I also want to hear from Sid about Spurs as well. They're looking hot. I don't know if he's that ambitious, talking about Champions League and big major trophies, but that's what we're here to do. So yeah, I'm happy with the way we're going, Gamza, with the direction of transfers, one at a time, and make the right decisions. Something we're learning from the past.
I hear that. Fair enough. And for it, let's hope we don't turn into another Donny van der Beek. But we'll save that for another show anyway, because you see your track record when you buy from Holland, it don't necessarily go very well. So we'll save that one for another show. But
I'll come back to that anyway. Go on.
Yeah, we'll come back. Deimos.
I won't buy it.
In terms of Arsenal, and these guys above you, who's your biggest fear? Is it Spurs or United this season?
It's like asking someone what's better, a shit sandwich or a shit smoothie. It's like I'm trying to think. Now, basically, to be honest, Spurs are making moves. It don't mean they're gonna do anything, but United seems stagnant. I mean, I know you're saying they bought whoever you're just talking about there, but yeah, it looks like Spurs are being more active. How that's going to translate into the new season, I can't tell you. But United need to do something because the way they finished last season, that can't run if you want to get back to the levels you're talking about. Yeah, so that's kind of how I see it. I see Spurs active, but I just don't know how it's going to translate. Do you know what I mean?
Because again, I'm not even dissing the signings. I think they're good signings, but we saw with United finish second, got world-class Varane, got Jadon Sancho, got Ronaldo, and ended up where they ended up. So sometimes it doesn't always relate. If you spend money, it doesn't always benefit. Do you know what I mean? But I feel Tottenham are putting themselves in a good position to push on, whether they do or not. Again, I think Conte's got 1 year, and it's all or nothing on this one season, isn't it? So how are you feeling, Sid? Are you confident going forward? Do you think it's a 3-horse race now like Sid? Or are you, not Sid, sorry, like Sam, or are you a bit more realistic?
Do you know what? Every fan's got their saying, haven't they? They've got their beliefs, and I've had conversation with Sam, and he truly believes that next season he thinks Spurs are going to win the league, right? Now, that's his belief, yeah, and you can't knock a man. If he's got a belief, then you got to believe it. But you know what? For me, I'm realistic, right? We had a good season under Conte. Conte's probably the best manager we've had in a good few years. I'm a season ticket holder, so when I used to go and watch the games, I used to see him in games where we're struggling or, we needed to see the game out. He'd look at the bench and then he'd turn straight back onto the pitch and think, forget this. I don't trust none of them men or boys on the bench. He's now aiming to get these players that he's got in: Forster, Perisic, Bissouma, Richarlison, and then obviously Spence is on the way, they reckon, and Lenglet. He's looking at a squad that he can now look at the bench and say, do you know what? If I take Son off, I can bring on Perisic, or I can bring on Richarlison. So he's bringing on players, not crap players. They're good players. I won't have paid 60 million for Richarlison, right? I'll tell you that now. He's not worth 60 million. However, he's done bits in the Premier League. He's a good player. He's got a lot of shithousery, which we need players like that. We need hardball players that are going to come in and give as good as they get, and he's one of them players, right? So that's good. In terms of next season, I think we can build upwards and onwards. I think we can challenge City and Liverpool. Whether we'll win the league, I don't think so. But we can give them a good challenge because we've got a decent squad and a good bunch of players. And I think we're still not finished in the transfer window. I think there's still another potential 1 or 2 players. You know what it is? At the moment, there's a lot of people going mental about we're not buying these statement players, the 90, 100 million players. Like you just said, Gumza, and Omandi will know Man United. You can go and spend millions on Varans and people like that, and Sancho and players like that. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. Unfortunately, right, for me, Sancho's a top player at Dortmund. But for some reason, it's just not happened at Man United. Now, whether that's behind the tactics, where he's not been played in his right position or whatever, I don't know. But under the new manager, I'm hoping he comes out and shows the class that he had, because he's a British player and he's on his day, he is class. So rather than spend the 80, 90 million pound on top notch players, go and get something decent. You don't have to spend millions and millions on players to get good quality out of them. As long as they're decent players who are willing to adapt and learn. And under Conte, I think they will. I ain't got a problem. So I don't know about winning the league, but I think we'll give it a good run.
Like the answer. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Any chance you guys don't finish in the top 4, are you that confident you're going to make top 4?
I think we'll finish top 4. I think, and because you know what it is? Conte is a winner, right? And he concentrates. I think I was watching Obi-Wan Kenobi before on the stream, and he was on it, man. He was on one. Yeah. But what it is with Conte, he's a winner. And yes, he doesn't concentrate as much in the Champions League because he didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he won any European trophies, did he? And he concentrates on the league, right? And I think his emphasis will be on the league. He'll want to give it a run for the money, because if anyone can get, we're now what, 1st of July or 30th of June, if anyone can get 5 signings before the transfer windows just about began under Daniel Levy, then that means that manager, he's got some balls on him, or he's squeezing Daniel Levy's balls to get every penny out of him, because it's never ever happened. Yeah, we as Spurs fans are surprised. I mean, how many years did we go without buying a player? Now all of a sudden we've got 4 in already and another 2 coming in. So I'd be disappointed if we don't get top 4. Honestly, I would be. And like I said to you, I think we'll give them to a good run for their money.
No, I hear that. Akpos, do you have any pushback for that?
Well, for me, firstly, I have a question for Monday, because while we were talking about Manchester United and their transfer, they said he was happy about their transfer so far. But I have family who are Manchester United fans, because growing up, I knew it was just the Arsenal, Manchester United, and maybe a few Chelsea fans. I don't know about sports fans though, but they are worried about the state of your transfer currently. I don't know on Monday, because it seems like Manchester United right now, most players who your club are going for do not want to touch Manchester United right now. That's what it seems like. Because let's take the Frankie de Jong case for an example. I don't think personally that de Jong seems convinced about the move to Manchester United. And Barcelona just want to sell because they are in a tight financial situation. They need the money. And I think some of the convincing are going to come from Barcelona also. So, but I think the only thing you have to sell right now, and I think you guys should be worried, because let's talk about the Tim Buds deal. That one has died down. That one has cooled down all of a sudden after Van Gaal said, don't touch Manchester United and all of that. So, but I think if I was a Manchester United fan, I would be worried about the state of the transfer right now, because I don't think like your top targets really want to move to Manchester United. So when you said you were happy on Monday, I was a bit surprised. Maybe you should throw more light on that one.
If you want me to, I'd love to.
Take it away.
Is that okay, Gumza?
But wait. Before you
can.
Wait. Before we let you take it away, though, you got to answer to this guy, because he's going to keep in your eyes when you're talking and see if you're telling the truth or not.
Oh,
guy,
no.
Gunner King's here. So now, blurt that out on Monday with Gunner King in the building.
I'm gonna be on the
Christopher
next
King,
lot.
Garner King. Are you
I came for
scheduled to
you.
be on? Are you
I came for
scheduled to be
you.
on? Or you
I
come
came
for
for
me?
you, brother. I
Yeah?
came for you, brother. What's going on, everyone? What's going on the rest of the panel, yeah? I've got a special, I want to echo his sentiment, yeah?
Come
But
on, bring it
seriously,
on,
yeah?
bring it on, Christopher King.
Seriously, right?
What you got for me?
You know what?
Apart from a big old beard.
It
What you have?
pains me to say this, yeah, but Spurs are moving like more of a big club than Manchester United right now. And you know how much I don't like them. You know how much I don't like them. There's a lot of Arsenal fans on this panel and the part of the Armoury that don't like Spurs. I really don't like them. Yeah. I was born in West London. I don't like them. Yeah. But they are moving like more of a big club than, let's be real. They actually are. They've made some good signings. They've made some good signings, right? We missed out on top 4 to them. We had to make a statement, right?
After they bust you up at the lane. Yeah, sorry.
And we had to go to the market and we had to go and get players, and we've done that. You know, even Chelsea is starting to move now. Now, another thing I want to add, another caveat with the De Jong thing, right? Last
I
season,
noticed you using the word caveat a lot lately. Where did you learn that? That's new to your Arsenal. That's new to your Arsenal. I've noticed. Anyway,
last season, your midfield looked like it needed a 6. De Jong is an 8. Yeah, he's an advanced 8. He wants to get in the box. He wants to get forward. He can play deeper. He can play as he is. He can play as a 6. He's definitely not. He's not an 8. I mean, he's not a 6. Sorry, he's not a 6. He's not a 6. He's an 8. He plays as an 8. They still use Busquets. So Barcelona will still use Busquets behind him, and he would be the more. So he would be the more advanced midfielder. And if you look at his attributes, he's good at driving forward with the ball. He's good at getting in the ball into the box, creating chances for the players that are further forward than him. Yes, he can do a job defensively, but let's be real. Like, you know, the McFred pivot hasn't worked for years now. Now, last season, you did finish second. You bought some great players, but you didn't get the right players. And now you've gone out, and the one midfield area you should be addressing, you haven't. You've got apparently a £200 million budget, and you're blowing 85 of it on a position that's not really even the most important one. Now, Ten Hag, I respect Ten Hag. He's a great manager. Yeah, like I've seen what he's done at Utrecht and Ajax, but he's an unproven entity on English shores. So, what I want to know is the same as what Akpo said. How can you be looking at what you're doing right now? I understand there's 2 months left in the market, so I'm not saying, oh yeah, you're not going to sign players. That's not what I'm saying. How can you be convinced that? For me, I just think De Jong's just there to sell shirts again. You know, like it's all about the money. You know, like he brings in a massive pool financially. I feel that that's what has been the priority of Man United's transfer business for so long now. You know, and I just think this is much to do with the same thing. I'm not seeing anything different so far, man.
I kept quiet. I kept quiet as much as I could.
All yours.
I was asked 2 questions here from the goon bugs, and I call them the goon bugs because it's like bed bugs. They're an infestation. Once they get hyped, they just hijack everywhere, just travel everywhere, as you can see by this international panel. But let me just address these points quickly. We're talking about your evidencing downfall by lack of transfers. This is some we're big club. We usually spend big money, but as I said in my opening statement, we haven't spent big money for a long time. Well, sorry, we've spent big money for a long time now, but made the wrong decisions. The Di Maria, all these guys come in, it hasn't got us anywhere. Now, the best signing we've made, and no one's talking about this, is the head coach. His name is Eric Ten Hag. He's a head coach. He's here to develop and coach players. We haven't developed players for a long time. Now that's all going to change. We got a good youth academy, as we saw with the FA Youth Cup yesterday, last season. We won it, and when we win things like that, usually a nice crop of players come true. And I can list off the players, but you probably know who they are, and you will find out who they are next season, because they will be incorporated into the first team squad. So that's the point. And about the number 6, what Gunnar King is saying about Frankie de Jong, I think Frankie de Jong's the only midfielder we need. We've got other players there who can be coached. This is the main thing. If you watch the pre-season, they're being coached to a new strategy. The problem we've had in the last few years, and haven't had a good philosophy, nothing to fall back on, no style of play. We've got managers like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who doesn't know what he's doing, to be honest. There's no plan B. There's no patterns of play, no way to score a goal. If you look at the way Ajax have been playing, I've been studying them for a long time now. So you had a guy like Hallow, couldn't kick it, couldn't work it out at West Ham, but his goals were all in 6-yard box. spoon-fed, 6-yard box, just standing there and banging in goals for fun. And he got a really good goal record. Imagine what Ronaldo's going to do, that sort of service. You know,
But my question to you, Monday.
I heard Sid talking about Sancho and all these guys. They will produce. So when there's going to be a revival of players that you've written off, players that you've done memes on, like Harry Maguire. You know I endorse him. He will make a return. You've got players like Rashford who could be coached and could turn it around. So all these players got something to prove now. It's all about the system. If you work with the system and sort out the coaching first, then we're going to see a revival of Man United and some of the players that you've all written off. Sorry, I want a couple more points. The issue about the DM. Oh, you need a DM. This is what I don't like. I play football. I know football. I talk football. I'm in the eye test, not a stat data man. We're living in the PlayStation era. People think, oh no, we need a DM in that position. Look, it's all about midfielders. If you're a midfielder, you're a midfielder. Your favourite player, Patrick Vieira, your son or whatever you call him, he was an all-round midfielder. He can do a bit of everything. So I think Frankie de Jong,
behind him.
Frankie de Jong is a
number or Gilberto Silva would always be next to him, though.
Frankie de Jong is a number 6.
No, but what you just said about Vieira, can I just say one sentence? Petit or Gilberto Silva would always be next to Vieira. So when Vieira marauded forward, there was someone behind him. Yes, exactly.
In a two-man midfield. Okay.
Yes.
These days you've got usually 5-man or 3-man midfield, so it's more compact there. So when you've got 2-man midfield, you need to have the all-round game. It's not saying I'm a complete midfielder. Vieira was one of those. I think with De Jong coming in, the reason why he's a key signing is because he knows the manager, and he would instantly get the players and the team working up to standard, up to the way we're supposed to be playing, which is possession-based. So all this pressure on the defence will ease up. We will be a lot more better with the ball retention, that kind of thing. And as a 6, he's someone who drop in deep in the back three and bring the ball out and be press resistant with all these high press resistant teams like Arsenal, like Liverpool, all these teams. This will really affect us going forwards. Where we struggled last season, conceded a lot of goals. We're going to have more ball possession. We're going to have better players on the ball. We're going to have more patterns of play. And we're going to have Ronaldo getting spoon-fed in the 6-yard box.
Quick question.
Finishing his dinner.
Quick question for you there. Quick question. As I said, this one's about Man United more. The last one was about Spurs. This one, we're going to focus on you, man, a little bit. Now, I hear what you're saying, Ten Hag's philosophy, bringing De Jong, good signing, Van der Beek might come back in. Do you think the rest of the squad's good enough to implement that, though? Because we saw you brought in Ralph Rangnick, who's the king of the high press and all this malarkey. And I remember I jumped on one of your shows before and I said, have you got the players to implement this? Because it seems like you're struggling. And again, the same thing, Ten Hag's philosophy might be absolutely amazing. We see Pep did it at City. He had his philosophy, and the first thing he did was bring in 4 wing-backs because he knew he needed something different. He got rid of Joe Hart within a second. You lot haven't done that massive overhaul. So do you think this philosophy will suit your Luke Shaws, your Harry Maguires, your Fred, your McTominays, your Wan-Bissaka if he's still starting? Like, even if you put De Jong in there, who is quality, no one's denying it, but with what's around him, do you think that's going to be enough?
Yeah, totally. I really do. Even what we've got now at the moment, we can start the season. I'd still be confident we'd be the 3rd best team out there behind City and Liverpool. That's how confident I am because the system changed. That's all. We got. So when you talk about the players you mentioned, Luke Shaw, the fullbacks, it's a revival. They will be revived because they have been playing in a system that's just cheating them for the last couple of years. You know, Harry Maguire was so poor because it's wave after wave of attack. You got players, midfield players ahead of the play, ahead of the ball all the time, and then we're getting countered over and over again. You have to protect your defence, you know, and be more secure. You know that. You're the best tactical man I know on the web, bruv. So you should know that. You should know these things, you know. And just going back to the last point I wanted to make, because I've wrote a few notes here just to clap back at you guys. The point about the Premiership, having to step up the Premiership, I think sometimes that's a myth because football is football. It's played differently all over the world. You go to Nigeria, you play football there. No. You go to Europe, you go to South America. Football is a beautiful game. There's so many variables of how you play the game, but it's still, you know, but that's what makes it a great game. It's like chess, different moves, different formations, different things when you come up against each other. Now we're incorporating a style that works in the Premiership with a blend of Cruyff, Pep Guardiola, Klopp. You know, it's a blend of that, and you'll soon find out once we've got more control of games, which we haven't had for a long time. There'll be a difference. So I think it's a myth about adapting to the Prem. If you're a good player or you've got a good system, you can adapt to anything. That's my belief, and that's what we.
I hear that. I
And
hear that.
you
I
see,
like that.
you talk about last point. Talk about time scale when you expect this to happen, and you're saying that certain players, Scott McTominay, I don't think he's good enough. So there are certain players who I don't think have the IQ to pick it up and learn how to do things. But if you've got a simple job and you've got a zone you've got a work in, and you can pick that up early, do your homework, and really show a lot of desire, then there are some players there you think could be effective. You look at Martial. He came into training the other day, skin and teeth. You know, see what I'm saying? It's like I've never seen that before. You know, this man never smiles, always poker face. So maybe he's thinking to himself, man, I could change something around. I could turn this around and show people that I've got something here. So I think the system is the most important thing first, rather than buying in transfers. All I've heard from Sid and all you guys is, oh, our transfers, look what we're buying, look what we're buying. But you have you got the system in place to make it work? You know, you made some fair play. Last point, Arsenal made some good signings. I agree. Last year's season, especially, I take that back. I was told by Gunnar King, you know, about your signings, everything else, your boys, your sons, whatever. I like how you're moving. And the same with Spurs. But Spurs crushed you yesterday. They put the boots in on you last season at White Hart Lane, and by topping you, by becoming top of the league. They stomped you out of here, and Sid can sit there, and so Shane can sit there as well. And come on this show, skin and teeth, knowing the fact that they stomped you out and put the boots on, and that is a fact. So you should need. There's a hierarchy in North London right now. Respect them. You know, I don't want to hear. I'm here to defend them.
Imagine being a Man United fan and having to use a Spurs fan to throw mud at an Arsenal fan. Imagine this happened in the Fergie era, because that wouldn't have happened.
I'm done.
That's how far you've fallen. And it's funny that you mentioned. Maguire needing the protection from midfield, and that's what I'm saying. By trade, De Jong is not a midfielder that sits in front of the defence and protects it. So that's what you've gone full circle and said, no, Chris, what you said isn't the problem, but that's what I'm saying. The midfield area that you have addressed is not the area that you're asking for to give you the midfield protection. He's not a six.
Listen, man,
watch him, man. He's not a six. He's not a six, my guy. He always has a midfielder behind him. And Vieira, when he marauded forward, always had a midfielder that sat defensively. Yeah, like when you look at Højbjerg and Bentancur, if one goes forward, the other sits. Yeah, and in your midfield, Fred and De Jong are both box-to-box players. They both are moving, operating in two boxes.
Frankie De Jong, who comes deep to get the ball and helps team build.
That doesn't make him.
Look at the Champions League final last year. Real Madrid
coming deep into the midfield to get the ball doesn't make you a six.
Because they were press resistant. They have players with that ability on the ball. You think a six is someone who's going to go and intercept the ball, tackle, that kind of thing. The game's changed.
I don't know what. A six is someone that sits deeper in the midfield than the other midfielders.
Your pigeonhole players. I'm saying what Frankie does well, which makes him a class player. Picking up the ball from deep and helping the team build up and being press resistant, to dribble past presses, that kind of thing. That's what he does really well. That's why he's renowned around the world as one of the best players in that position. Coming deep. Granted, he's that good. He can do it. He can do it going forward as well. Like he said today, he can do that. I'm telling you, he can play as a six. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to
that. But before we go on, so we're halfway through our segment, and it would only be right for me to go back to the first episode on the Armoury TV. So on Monday, you was a guest on that evening. We had the big debate of who was better, Vieira or Keane. Very good debate. But guys, if you haven't seen the show, I'm gonna give you a little teaser, a little preview what happened on that show. And on Monday, I'm sure you remember this. Jesus.
Why never do this?
I thought I'd just get that. I thought I'd just put that out there.
Still dining out on this. I still got
that picture. I still got that picture. It's saved on my phone. But nah, I just want a bit of banter. But now, honestly, I just want to say big up to him Monday again. He was part of the first show. It's mad how fast the year's gone. And a lot has happened in that time, to be fair. As you said, it's roles reversed. Tottenham have got the biggest chest out of the three of us. We're trying to keep up a new man at the moment. I don't know where you lot are. But it's going to be an interesting season. But before we move on, I've got one more guest. And I don't really want to bring this man on because it's like we've got our little battle going on. And this guy now, I'm going to bring him in for 10 minutes and he can go again because you're not really in the same ballpark as this at the moment. So, SaintLFC TV. Oh, yeah, bro. I'll be real. Like, this is like bullying you coming down here and
Hey,
coming on
come
this
the
kind of
one
platform.
part, man. Listen, I'm always in the chat. I'm always supporting.
You're always
I'm
there, to
always
be fair
giving.
to you, man.
I'm always like, you could call me Green Giant. The amount of corn I'm flinging in the chat, you know, like that. So
Can I ask a
can't treat me
question?
like that.
Can I ask a question? Because the last time Amondi felt how you're feeling right now, his dreads were like just little twists. Like,
Wait,
how does it feel to
before
be?
you even get on. Wait, before you even get on. Wait, before you go. Monday. Oh God, you see me now? Yeah?
Your chest is taking up the whole screen. You know, calm it down, man. Sit back.
What was it there? That
Wheel
film,
back a little bit,
44
man,
inch
so we can
chest or
get
something?
in.
Big man. I was on a Monday was corning me, telling me all types of nonsense that Man United fans normally spout in it, like, you know, like that. I
got no beef with you. I got no beef.
You can't have no beef.
How does it feel? How does it feel at the moment for you? Is it feeling good still?
Nah, you
or
know
are
what?
you a bit nervous about this transition that's coming for you lot? Because obviously Mane's gone. It looks like Salah will be the next one out the door. Like, how are you feeling?
Nah,
Do you think you're in a
I'm
good
here
position?
for vibes. I'm here for vibes. I had to come and show up before I even start listening. You man, like I've got to give up. You know, I've got to give up the flowers when they're due. You lot have been putting in the work and that. It's not easy. It's not easy supporting a scud team and having to come out here and put out content about, do you know what I mean? No, real talk, bruv. You know, like that. Like, it's not easy. Like, do you see
Now
what
you
I'm
can see
saying?
he's got 5 minutes left. Then I'll cut that down from 10 already. He's got 5 minutes left. Guy, go on.
I'm trying to give man some. Do you know what I mean? Like, Gunner King was fresh faced when man started this season. Now he's out here looking like a Zetish, you know, like that. That's what this team will do to you. Know? Nah, big on you, man. No, literally. Like,
From double that George Graham did in the 90s and one Prem title in 30 years got this man starting. All right, okay.
Exactly.
I see what it is.
Nah, I'm not even on Twitter. That's all the vibes out of the way. Real talk though. If I'm here, man, SaintLFC TV, you can come and see the content. You would think that it's Wenger era over there, and sometimes I can see myself midstream, like I'm like, yo, Nick, like allow it, like, but I just can't help it, man. You know, like that. Certain man are saying that we're angrier now than we ever have been when we were languishing in the midst of the table, and to me. It doesn't even, it's nonsensical that they would even question the rage. You know, the ones there, like that is by far exactly what it is. We are now at the height. Well, I'm in my 30s. So if you're my age or slightly older, unless you're way older and you've been around in the 80s and that, this is the best Liverpool team that we've ever seen. It consists of arguably 5 world-class players plus a manager that is arguably one of the best in the world. So for us to keep on like getting there or thereabouts is really not, it's not good enough by my standards. And yeah, I'm very I'm tweaking.
I hear what you're saying. And how would you sum up your season? Because you were 2 games away from being the best team ever in England, really and honestly. Like, no one's done a quadruple. You was very close. But then when you look at it, you then come up with what some would call the Mickey Mouse Trophy and
Gunner King, relax, man.
You didn't win the big. You didn't win the big ones, innit? So, how would you sum up your season? Now, again, someone like Sid would love to be in your position and take just the League Cup, innit? But for the mighty Liverpool, like
them ones there, I see you, I see you, bro. Don't worry, I see you, bro. You can't. You got to wake up way early in the morning to try and get one over me. Sid, don't have it. I'll let you deal with him later. But
how would you sum up your season though? Would you say it is a positive? Because I don't think anyone's going to get as close as that to a quadruple.
Nah, I actually, you know what? Let me tell you something, innit? Real talk, yeah. Brilliant season, brilliant ride. Loved the season, and I was, you know, shameless or not, I was one of the ones that I was like, yeah, you know, Jurgen Quad, we can do this thing and we can do the quad. To sum up your question, disappointing. Some in the fan base would say failure, and other rivals would say failure. Not for me. Disappointing because the domestic branch was always a branch off the tree that people would rivals would take off and hit me over the head with. Do you know them ones there? Like, you don't have no domestic cups and you lot don't do it domestically. And 2006, I think generally for the stature of club that we are, is far too long for us to, do you know what I mean? Like, not that we dine out on things like the FA Cup or that. We're not Arsenal, but it is just something that we still need to, like, do you know what I mean? We still need, and I feel like to get a domestic double, now that it ticks off all the cups in which we've got, and the fact that we've got all the cups under Klopp, you can't look past that. Do you know what I mean? And it's but I'm not going to sit here and say that it's any more than that. It's we've got them now. Now that we've got them, if next season we end up with the domestic double, it's a complete failure of a season. It's an absolute failure of a season. That's I hold it for what it is now. It's disappointing. In terms of your quad thing, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think we could ever really do. I don't think we're ever going to do the quad. If I'm honest with you, having come so close to it, I now understand it for what it is. And if I'm honest with you, Pep is in far better position to ever complete the quad than someone like Jurgen Klopp is. Especially and this summer, this transfer window is even showing me that even more. We can't have players. If you'd ever told me that we got a Thiago is for the Champions League final. That's one of the games he's needed for that. Do you know what I mean? Klopp was far too rigid in his way, and it is one of the gripes that I have with Klopp is that it's plan A or nothing, and that mentality in what was, the quad chasing in 68 games, it then came to bite us. You can't have Thiago playing in a Wolves game when he is needed for the Champions League fight. Things like that. You can't play a Fabinho who is, people talking about before I jumped in, trying to define what a 6 is. And, if you look in the dictionary, Fabinho is that. And I would probably side more with Gunnar King on that argument anyways. But yeah, like you can't have that with things like that. You can't. Salah, like, let's be honest. I've seen Salah in like 6th round of FA Cup and that. Like, Klopp, you can't do that when you're chasing a quad. Like, it's just not gonna run. Them ones there. You either need more faith in the team, or if I'm being honest, I think a manager like Jurgen Klopp won't achieve the quad because he generally likes a small squad. He likes to put his faith in his first 11. That ain't gonna bust down for cups, unfortunately. You need to literally have depth and been able to. And I do think that, we came as close as we are. I'm not one of these fans that's like, oh, watch next season we're gonna. But I think that's as close as it is. And to be very honest with you, that's as close as I ever want it to become, because I want us to just concentrate on. You know what I mean?
Nah, I love the way you sum that. I love the way you sum that up. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go around the panel. Again, we've got a few Arsenal fans here: Liverpool, Tottenham, United. So I'm gonna ask the question: what would be a good season for you next season? So I'm gonna start with you, Brezzy. Can you give me what your thoughts on a good season for Arsenal for next season?
Well, for me, would be Europa League finalist as a winner. And then a good cup run. I want a good league and an FA Cup run. Semi-finalists, quarter-finalists. If we finish 5th, but we get into Champions League for the Europa League, I'm happy with that. That's what I would say would be a good season for us.
So for you, is it regardless where we end, it's just got to be Champions League? Like either you get it for UEFA Cup or top 4. Would you sacrifice the other competitions? Would you literally go all out for one or the other, or? If he
was having a good run and it came to the fact that we need to either sacrifice that to get the Europa League to get into the Champions League, then fine, take that. Egal said that when he came in that he wants us in the Champions League within 3 seasons. Well, it's coming up now, so he needs to start delivering. And there's no more. It's not his team. It's not his team. He's had the money. He's had the backing. The transfer window is showing that he now needs to deliver that.
I hear that. And what for you would be, I don't want to talk negative about Arteta because you don't know I like the guy, but if he doesn't get Champions League this year, what does that mean for Arteta and his time at Arsenal?
I think they need to look at their options. I think they need to look at again, I was Mikel Arteta in and I still am, but if you're delivering 3 years and you're having nearly £250 million of transfers and you're still not delivering, then there's got to be some red flags going up saying, well, why not? You know, we've all been saying that, you know, when Conte was available, we was all saying let's get Conte, but we've got Mikel. So then you got to say it's down to the manager. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. We get Champions League, and you know we're going again next season. But
definitely.
we still got 38 games. Yeah,
I hear that. Damos, what about you? What's a good season for Arsenal and a bad season, or what's he seeing at Arteta?
A couple of things actually. I know everyone, like, I mean, Vezi mentioned it, talking about the money we spent. I think that's quite irrelevant. The reason why I say that is because, one, it's not my money. Two, it's money to rebuild and fix a team that was already broken. So when we look at the amount of money we spent, that money's not to win you the league. That money's to help you get back to for whatever you're meant to get to. So I don't look at the money and say, oh, we've spent X amount, we should achieve this. This season, however, we're spending money. The money we're spending, do any of you lot think that's to help us compete to win the league? That money's still to get us to try and get us in and around fourth. Do you see what I'm saying? So we're still at the same place, but the money's to help us kind of stay there and hopefully improve. So based on that logic, yeah, I want us to at least get in the top four. I'd like us to at least get into Europe, you know, through Europa. But based on that logic, if we're improving in all the other areas, playing well, getting points against top teams, but we just fall out of fourth and into fifth, I'll be disappointed. But it doesn't necessarily mean you must sack the manager. We have to look at how it happens, basically. If we're getting battered, scraping fifth, then I'm like, you know what, manager needs to go. So we have to look at things in context of the situation around us. But yeah, my personal thing, I would like us to at least get into fourth, because we're around that level. Again, with the whole Spurs thing last season, we were so close. I think he was our own downfall.
Yeah. Do you know? I like the way you answered that, Damos, because again, it was asked earlier of who comes out of the top four for Arsenal to get in. So I'd like to, like you said, you've got to look at things in context. Last year, everyone made a big deal about what Arsenal spent in the transfer window, but actually, once Tottenham got Kulusevski and Bentancur, they spent more money than us. So, and we was already behind them, and they had two world-class players. So we've actually closed the gap, spending less money than them. Again, you go into this season, Tottenham might actually outspend us, or we'll be very close to spending. So, in terms of where we are position-wise, actually, we're still in fifth place as such, because we haven't outspent Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? So, when you look at the table, we might end up fifth, but if we get more than 69 points, Arteta still achieve something, if that makes sense, because Tottenham might go on and get 80 points. So if we end up with 78, 2 points behind them, but we've got 9 points more than last year, would you say actually you still got to give him more opportunities because he's still achieving more than what he's achieved previously? And actually it's just that Tottenham had a good season again and got ahead of us. Do you know what I mean? So rather than look at league position, is it about points for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to answer it, yes. But I look at a number of factors, because Arteta's I always thought he was a manager to potentially get you fourth, and he's literally, we're a stone throw away. So he's clearly a manager that can get you fourth or around fourth. Whether he can win the league with the next level, I don't know that. So what's the objective now? The objective is to get into fourth. So Arteta is the man to do that. Obviously, do you know what I mean? You can choose a different manager and whatever, but he has the credentials to get us into fourth. The next stage, once we get fourth, when we're trying to challenge, we'll have to see how movements are going. Because then you can be like, you know what, that manager can't take us to the next level, or he can. So as it stands, he's the guy there to try and get us into fourth, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, decent. All right, I'm going to move on. We're going to go to Sid. You've been quiet for a little while. For you, what is a good season for Tottenham? I know you kind of answered it earlier. And where would be the breaking point with you with Conte? I don't think you lot will get rid of Conte by choice, but what would you think would be the breaking point for Conte? Because he's more of a man who would leave if something's not going right, rather than I think you lot would want to keep hold of him.
I think, the breaking point for Conte would have been this summer window. If he hadn't have got any players in this transfer window, and Daniel Levy did what Daniel Levy is doing at the moment with Spence and fighting over £1 million apparently, again, like we did with Maddison and other players like that, and we lost them, he would have walked. But it seems like he's got the players that he wants. I don't know if it's necessarily the number one main targets, because like Bremers and the Bastonis and people like that is what he wants. But there's no way he's not sanctioned any of these deals. Him and Paratici must be talking. So the fact that he's got 4 or 5 players in already now is a massive statement for him. And he's not finished yet. So that's the first tick in the box, the fact that he's getting players in. For me, I don't think he's going to go. I agree with you. The only way he's going to go is if he sees his contract. He's got 1 year left with a possible extension. However, if he gets the players this window, January window, and he's already, what he's done last season after what Nuno Santos done to us, the fact he's took us all the way, beating you lot to the 4th position on, and scoring the amount of goals that we scored since he came in. And the main thing with Sanchez, Dyer, Davis, Doherty, Emerson Royal, everybody was taking the rip out of them. How many clean sheets did we end up keeping towards the end of the season? And the fact that Ben Davies, who would have ever thought people would be drumming him up big time after the season that he had, he was immense. I mean, I don't know what Conte done to him, but he was just solid, and everyone was going about Romero. Romero was one of our top signings. I think you've got to give credit to Ben Davies as well, because he done phenomenal. And you guys summed it up as well. Them 2 signings in January, Bentancur and Kulusevski, I know you guys were after him as well. And everybody was slagging him off left, right, and center and saying that, watch, these guys are going to be, why have Juventus sold them to Spurs? It's because they're dead players, blah, blah, blah. But them 2, honestly, Kulusevski especially, I mean, that boy's got talent. And he had half a season at Spurs. What's to come next season under Conte? You know what? Honestly, I've been a season ticket holder for a good few years. I've been supporting Spurs. And like our LFC man was saying there, 1980s was for me the Liverpool team, because I grew up in them eras and I was up that way because I'm from up north originally. That Liverpool team in the 80s, man, with Dalglish, Rush, Craig Johnston, David Fairclough and people like that, that was honestly what an unbelievable team. And I had the pleasure to go and watch them at Anfield, and what a team. Alan Kennedy's, Hanson's, Lawrenson's, what a team, So I've grown up with that. And what Conte is doing now for Spurs, I think, if you give him the cash, give him his players, I think next season, honestly, I don't think we're going to win the league, but I think Man City, Liverpool, we're going to give them a run for their money, right? We won't win the league, but I think out of all the clubs in and around them, I think we've got probably going to have the better chance with the players that we've got. And I said at the beginning, the bench for me is the biggest. You look at Liverpool's bench, you look at Man City's bench, you look at Man United's bench, even though, they didn't do as well as Man United fans would have expected him. But to now look at that bench and see the likes of, all right, Richarlison's going to be there, Perisic is going to be there, players like that, I think that will give us the confidence. And I think it'll be a good season for us. And we have to win a cup. We have to win a cup next season, because we've got probably one of the best managers at the moment we've ever had, right? And one of the top managers in the country. I mean, you've got Klopp, you've got Guardiola's as well. But he has to win a trophy, because we probably got, under Mourinho, yeah, we sacked him before the final. But who knows? We might not even win that cup. Yeah, it's one of them. But under Conte, I believe that he's going to put his emphasis on the league. I don't think there's going to be that much on the Champions League, because you know what? If we have a good run, I think now anyone can win that Champions League. You don't have to be one of the top teams in the world to win that Champions League. Real Madrid proved it last season, where you can play crap all season, but if you, on that 90 minutes, if you turn up, you can turn anyone over. And if you have a run like they did, where they just turned up second legs and just beat everyone to get to the final and then done Liverpool over with, just playing. Liverpool didn't play as well as they should have done, but anyone can do that. So I think Conte will want to win 8 cup, right? It has to win a cup for me. Has to win a cup, whether it's the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, I don't know. Champions League, I don't think so. But I think we'll give Liverpool and Man City a good run for their money and win a cup, and I'll be happy with that. And I think Conte will stay. As long as Levy backs him, I think he'll stay.
So you're saying, in a nutshell, a trophy in top 3 is the minimum for Spurs this year. So the ambition's there.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to move into...
the ball, he set the standard now, so he can't go below that ball.
I hear that. I hear that. Right, guys, because we're almost running out of time. We've got 10 minutes left, so you've all got 2 minutes who haven't spoken yet. So we're gonna leave Amondi to last. I think he's gonna have a lot to say. So, SaintLFC, we're gonna come to you. We don't want to finish on a note like yours because yours is gonna be different to the rest of our ambitions. So
mine ain't even no. You know what? What's your question?
What's a good season for you? What's a good season for you guys? And what would have you questioning your manager if it went wrong? Like what
anything
would be
other than the Premier League, bro? Like the Premier League that's it. You see if we do up hot potato with the Premier League. Now you have it. Way on top, they're on top, way on top, and then ultimately we lose it at the end of the day. Failure. I don't know what you want. Like like literally.
How long have you been there for now?
5 years, bro.
Yeah, and one Premier. He's done well, to be fair,
brother. The Premier League, bro. Like this is it, innit? Like we put ourselves in this position. If we had the Champions League, Sid was saying, he's like, if you turn up, then you turn up and you'll be okay, and then you can face Liverpool, and he didn't know what to say because we were shit, bro. That's what like, we were rubbish. Like if we had the Champions League, then I could ease up a little, bro. Give me the Premier League. I'll take the Champions League and 2 domestic cups, like a treble of some sort. But ultimately, the Premier League, rude boy. That's it.
All right. Here's a question for you. So again, I don't know. The Premier League is the Premier League for a reason, and
these man get this Premier League. This man get this Premier League, and it's they free-peat, bro. Do you know back to back, back to back? Like allow it, bro. Allow it.
So thank you. If Klopp ends this season with no trophies, would you still be supporting him? Would you say maybe his time's up now?
If Klopp ends the season with a domestic double, I'll be looking at him funny. So don't ask me about no trophies.
Them expectations are different, innit?
If Klopp ends the season with a domestic double, man's looking at him like we need to have chats in it.
Anyway, listen, can I vote for everybody and say we remove the privilege out of this group? Because I'm like, nah, bro. Saint, I love you. Peace out, brother. Come away, man. That privilege, I'm not about that privilege life, bro. I'll be real. Nah, you can stay there.
30 years! He told, 30-something years, and you're talking about privilege.
But you know what's going to be really good? After you, we're going to come to Amondi. That's the tables are turned. Amondi, you go next, bro. What's
top six? Top 6. I'm out. See.
No, Amondi, because again, I think you're in a different situation. Again, you got the newest manager. So even if, again, we see with Arteta, it might take him 2 years to almost get his team together. So for you, what would you claim as success? Would it just be playing attractive football again, not conceding so many goals? Like, what would be a success for you? And is there any way you would say actually Ten Hag needs to go? Like, if it's going horribly wrong, what would be that?
No, this. I plead with all Man United fans out there: be educated. I mean, I love you guys, Gunnar King, Gamza, Damien as well, and Nigerian. All you guys are educated on football. The way you discuss football, I love it. That's why I love the Armoury so much, because you know football, you know what to expect, and you don't get above your station. You understand where you're at and what you need to achieve. And what Damien just said earlier about Arsenal was fantastic about the expectations and being realistic, that kind of thing. Sometimes we get hyped, don't we? We don't have to look at Saint for that kind of thing. His head just taken up the whole screen since they won. They've been doing things. But as to be realistic about Man United, you dropped the bomb there. You said, it's about attractive football and being patient. We need to start building, taking baby steps towards our goal, which is to play good football and to be more in control of games, because we completely lost control over the last few years. We've been getting overrun by teams we shouldn't be. So if we pick up points where we dropped points prior to this by not having control of games, then I think that's going to be a great advantage for us. And that's why I predict we're going to be the third best team. We're fighting out with Arsenal, with Spurs, with Chelsea, and I think we can beat those teams based on our performance in the league and a shocking factor of turning things around by being able to control games, possession, retention of the ball, have Ronaldo finishing his dinner. I have to remind you, Sid, what Ronaldo, look at that goal he scored at Spurs last season. Yeah. Look at the goals he scored against Arsenal at Old Trafford, just in case you forgot, guys. I think he can really still do a lot of damage up front still, and without doing all that outside work, So I think the team will be performing better, providing him with goals, giving us more options, and that's why I think we can be the third best team. As regards, I just want to speak on Arsenal. I respect Arsenal. I love what they did last year. They're really potent. When we played at Old Trafford, I realised, wow, this team ain't to be messed around with. I know you had spells where you had 3 games losing in a row and that kind of thing. But overall, I sit back, and I know I was giving banter, but I've got a lot of respect for Arteta. I love the direction you're going in now, and you can see it by the signings. I mean, that Vieira guy, I think he's going to be a smashing player for you guys, you know? So I think it'd be realistic. I'm with you. It's exciting. This is all I can say. I don't want to make expectations, but I think it's going to be really exciting to see Arsenal, Spurs, Man United, Chelsea, all these teams battling out, and maybe throwing in a Newcastle, Leicester, West Ham. It's a great league. So let's just celebrate football. Let's celebrate the Army's first anniversary. That's the main thing. That's what we're here to do. And we're here to celebrate football. We all love the game. We're not tribal. We all get together, and we're all going to link up soon and have a good drink and a good chat and a good laugh about everything, because we're beyond all this. We're brothers. That's the main thing.
Love you.
And let me just say my final word. Damien below me is my. I used to go to school with Damien, and Damien's such a great athlete. You wouldn't even believe. I'm going to big him up now because he was like unbelievably quick, just good at everything. And now I see it in his kids as well. His kids are playing football, and I'm like, wow, they're fantastic. Your son is brilliant. I'm seeing him doing his little 8-a-side, 7-a-side games and all that kind of thing. Fantastic, Damien. It's good to see you after all this time. It's good to see your brother as well. God bless you, man. Hope everything's well. And Apos, good to see you as well, bro. I haven't seen you for a long time, but I love being on the show prior to this. So much respect and big up to everyone watching. And make sure you press the subscribe button and big up the Armoury TV.
Love. Right, we're going to keep rattling through. So, Akpos, what's yours? Expectations for Arsenal this season, and what for you would have you singing Arteta out?
Well, for me, my expectations are going to be for us to build on the foundation of getting very close to finishing top 4 last season. Because personally, if we had gotten top 4 with how our season started, I would have said we overachieved. But we didn't make top 4. I think now is the time for us to build on that. And I want to see us getting into the top 4 spot. If we can finish higher, that would be I would take that with how the disappointment from the previous season. And also, I would want to see us going into the UEFA Europa League to win it. In Europe, we've not done very well. So I think we have a chance to get a European trophy come next season. So I think Mikel Arteta should set up his team in a way to be able to compete on the Premier League and also at the Europa League. And how is he going to do that? That is what we're talking about, the squad depth. Squad depth was one of the reasons why we didn't make top 4. And this window is the chance for us to get cover in those positions where we need bodies to come in. We need more quality in this team. We know we have young players who have quality, who could get the job done, but we need more in cases of injuries and drop of form and all that. But if Mikel Arteta does not make top 4 by the end of this season and we don't win any trophy whatsoever, I think the Mikel Arteta process has to be evaluated, in my opinion, because he has been backed on the pitch and off the pitch in terms of decision making. Mikel Arteta let our best player go in the middle of a season where he did not bring in a replacement. So, but I think now it's for all of us to support him as Arsenal fans and all of that. But personally, I think if he doesn't make top 4 at the end of the season and he does not win any trophy and we finish so poorly in the table standing, I think we need to review the whole Mikel Arteta process personally, because this is not a small club. We need to begin to think on how we would get back to our old glory. How are we going to do that? We need to start making progress on a continuous, on a constant basis. So, but I think Mikel Arteta needs to get into top 4, or we need to evaluate the Mikel Arteta process personally.
I love that. Right, King, I'm gonna let you go for a minute. I'm sorry, but I know you're staying on for the next hour anyway. Then Silver Fox is ready in the building. He's ready for the action. So, King, take it away. What's a good season for Arsenal, and what would have you Arteta out?
For me, it's real simple. In terms of, it's been 28 years since I've seen us win a European Cup, and that cup is defunct. The Cup Winners' Cup, Copenhagen against Parma in 1994. I was 11 years old. Not good enough. It's the one thing Spurs have over us, and if anything, it's the only thing that bothers me. You know, they were the first to win a European trophy. And They did a double as well, I believe. Sort of last century. So for me, I just feel like, obviously we're the club in London with the most trophies, but the worst European history of the biggest of the three. So for me, it's the only stain, I think it's the only thing I've got left to see. Europa League, the Champions League. I've seen 5 league titles, the first one in Anfield, 9 FA Cups, God knows how many Charity Shields, Cup Winners' Cup as well. So, for me, it's I'm not even as focused on top four. Obviously, if we don't win the Europa League, getting in the top four would be fine. People are making it either or. I would want us to just play our under 23-year-olds in the FA Cup right the way. If we manage to get to the semi-final, just play our under 23-year-olds and our fringe players. Keep our first squad absolutely fresh for that competition. If West Ham were able to get to the semi-final with their squad last season, and they had a defensive injury crisis, this squad that we had and that we're building on in this summer can do the same thing and go further. The season before, when our squad was on its knees, we got to the semi-final. That was the season that United got to the final, and we both should have done better. We should have been facing each other and fighting each other for the spoils. So for me, that is it. That is the alpha and the omega of next season. If we finished 8th and won the Europa League, I'm not going to lose sleep. If we finish below Spurs and win the Europa League, as annoying as it's going to be for one season, I'm not going to lose sleep. If I see us lift that Europa League, I'm going to be very happy. To solidify or regain our Champions League status that way, for me, I think is the right way to do it. You're adding to your history at the same time. You're crossing off something that your club hasn't achieved in your history. That is what we have to do next season. Now, I'm not saying Arteta has to go if we don't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what the main focus should be. And I'm of the mind Danos, is it? Because we haven't met, yeah. But where I look at things in context, I was asked yesterday about, don't you think Arteta should have been sacked for getting 5th? Looking at it without context of the fact that Tierney and Partey are 2 of our most important players, and they got injured at a key stage of the run-in, I don't do that. So, like Danos, I will be looking at the end of the season with context and applying it. And if I do feel that he's not taking us forward, he's got to go. I'd like to see a double-digit number of goals and assists from the likes of Eva Saka, ESR, Martinelli, and Odegaard, just to show some individual progress from these guys. Because I think they're our best players. I think they're our future. Those 4, I've really got high hopes for them. So I want to see them improve on their impact and the measure of their impact on next season as well. Bringing in new attackers, I want to just see more cohesion in how we attack. Strikers, at least getting 15 goals. It's been 3 seasons since Oba hit 20, and I've grown up on strikers just doing that for breakfast. So that's another thing as well.
I hear you. Right. Just on that note there, I'm going to have to just cut in, Gunner, because I was up and over. I just want to say thank you to everybody who jumped in. Really appreciate it. I'm not going to call everyone's name out just because I don't want to overrun, and Tony's waiting for us. One thing I will say, though, is if you guys don't know, on Monday obviously just made it apparent that him and Damos went to the same school. Him and Canners grew up in the same area. Now, I don't understand how Damos and Canners grew up in the same era as Amondi. They must have had school dinners and Amondi had packed lunch, because them man there look young and Amondi look all as shite, but he didn't get the right vitamins. So I don't know. He definitely had the packed lunch.
Now you're gonna cut. Now you're gonna cut, aren't you? Yeah.
Well, Man United will do that to you, right?
I don't know what happened to Amondi, but boy, them boys there, they must have drunk from the fountain of youth at the school, because them 2 look young to be in the same year bracket as Amondi. But now, guys, appreciate the love. It's all like, you know what I do, Amondi, you're my boy. But nah, listen, Damos, appreciate you, Akpos, Brezzy as always, Gunner King, Sid, Mondi, and Saint for jumping in as well. But now we're going to hand over to Tony. You got the last hour. I hope you're looking forward to it.
Make it good, Tony. No pressure.
Make sure, no pressure. It's been a fire last hour. Yeah, thank you for everyone who came in the first as well.
I don't know how I'm going to do it.
There, so you'll be good.
Yeah, boy. Good luck. Get your referee uniform on. But on that note, the middle panel. We're out of here. Appreciate everybody. Love.
Thanks, Gamza. Thanks, guys.
Here I am, Mr. Silver Fox, your host for the final hour. Well, I don't know how we're going to follow that, boys, but I can see Darius here. So, Darius, how you doing, sir? Oh, he's on mute.
Everything all good? You can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good to see everyone, man. It's been a while since I've been on this channel. Happy birthday. Young but old at the same time, going strong, and it's glad to see that it's still continuing after the turmoil that's happened. So I'm glad to see it. I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy to discuss what's happened and what's going to happen, because to be honest with you, I actually have no idea at the moment. So I'm confident, but at the same time, I want to hear what your thoughts are and see what the opposite pun's saying, because for me it's a bit one-sided at the moment. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but we'll see what you have to say. But it's good to see everyone, and don't waste a tweet. It's good to meet you, by the way. It's the first time I've seen you, so good to meet you, bro.
Thank you there, Darius. So let's go on to Gary, DWTT. How are you, sir? I think it's
I'm doing
second
good.
or third time in the channel now.
Yeah, I think second or third. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, happy birthday to you and the gang. It's I've been watching you guys. You guys are on at a good time for me, just before the end of the day for me at work. So I get to watch that before I log off. So it's always good to see it. The information is entertaining. I enjoy it, especially in the chats. So yeah, happy to be on.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you on again, Gary. Thanks for coming. And Gunner King, it's been about 2 minutes and a half since we last seen you.
It has, yeah. It's been a minute, man. Yeah, about 2.5 minutes to be exact. Yeah, it's just amazing. Just thinking, around this time last year, this is where the journey started, and it's been an amazing journey so far. It's had its ups and its downs. Just with where the team's taken us, but sort of creating content. Speaking about the club that I love. That is part of my DNA, part of my fabric. Is what I love doing. So having a platform, creating a platform, to be able to do that, for others to be able to come and do the same, it's really a special thing, and I'm looking forward to many more years of doing the same as well.
Definitely. And this is what it's about. This is what the channel's about. We want to invite all sorts of people, whether you're Arsenal fans or not, come in and just talk football, because that ultimately that's what it's all about. And I couldn't help but notice while we were waiting backstage, I saw a little avatar of Darius. Can you just show us, please, sir? So I've got the impression that he wants to have a little bit of fun with that one. So.
Oh no, I had no avatar. It's my only choice. So I literally have like 2 pictures on my computer. So unfortunately, it was either that or something inappropriate. And I don't want to get Armoury TV taken down on its birthday. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, that is how we're gonna have to roll, unfortunately. But nevertheless, it still could happen. So I mean, I'm not lying, am I? It still could happen. You never know.
Yeah, personally, I think he'll end up at Bar. That's what he's wanted. He wants Barcelona, and from my understanding, I saw that Leeds have accepted Chelsea, but Rafinha has accepted the terms from Barcelona. So I can see this going on throughout the whole summer. What do you reckon, Gary?
Yeah, I was going to say hello to everybody in the chat, but yeah, that that deal looks kind of crazy, because I think if he wants the team, he probably wants Arsenal. It seems like he wants Arsenal before he wants Chelsea, if he's on the fence for them. But he definitely wants to play for Barcelona. So yeah, for me, I think Arsenal, they don't really have to do anything. If everything blows up, we'll still hear. If we have the funds, we'll say yes. Otherwise, he's stuck. But I don't think we need to put any more money into this, any more time into this. We've got other holes to fill. So let's move on. I would love to have him on the team. I think it would, help any team he goes to. But I don't think we need to spend too much time on this one. We saw what happened last January when we spent too much time on a player, and they had their heart set on another team. Just for me, no. This is an easy one for me. Just sit back and let it go. If it ends up he comes, then we'll take it. If it doesn't, then you know what? It wasn't meant to be, because he wasn't our first choice anyway. So. Why? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
And Darius, you've always, when you've come on the channel, you've been quite fair. You've given your honest opinions about Arsenal. How have you seen the transfer window for Arsenal so far?
Look, again, I always give this preface. I will come on here to banter, but I am honest. That is the first thing I am, is honest, and I will tell you exactly how I feel, and not try and let the bias take over my opinion. So to be honest with you, there's a reason I'm bantering you about Rafinha, because that guy is a baller. And if he had joined you lot, there'd have been problems for me. And I would have not been happy at all, because I've been waxing lyrical about Rafinha since he came to Leeds. I know he was at Rennes before. He did a bit of bits at Rennes, but he's a baller. And that's why I'm scared. That's why I was scared. So it's almost a compliment to your business that you're trying to do in the window, because I was shook. But to be honest with you, I think at the moment, if we're going on confirmed deals, it's lackluster. But if we're including sort of links, players that we see are constantly being sort of spoke about with Arsenal, I think it could turn out to be a decent to very good window, in fact, for Arsenal. I think for me, standouts, Gabby Jesus is a standout, regardless of what people say. Matter of opinion on who you think is better strikers or whatnot, but Gabby Jesus is a very good, proven Premier League striker who, despite getting 14 goals in his best season, which to some might look a bit average in a Man City team, and to me, again, in a game in that season, I think he got 21. I think he played 21 games, started 14, and still started 15 and still scored 14. So for me, it's a good outcome. It's a good output anyway, but it's a lot of backing behind him. He's got a lot of players with a lot of creativity behind him. So you have to see what he's going to be like under Arsenal, where it's a lot more pressure, I think, and a lot more sort of responsibility in that team when you're the main man. So we'll see how he goes. I think it's a little bit expensive for the amount of time he had in his contract, but regardless, it's what you're going to have to pay for a striker at the moment. If we're paying 60 for a Richarlison, 45 for Gabby Jesus is not that bad at all. Turner, goalkeeper, I'm not going to be some sort of pretend football whiz. I absolutely know nothing about him, so we'll have to see what he sort of turns out to be. If you're talking about links and stuff like that, I mean, to be fair with you, Marquinhos, again, he's a confirmed signing. I'm not sure on Marquinhos either, but links, I mean, Lisandro Martinez, great player, great left-footed centre-back. If you get him in, that'll be a definite upgrade on your defensive line, in my opinion, an already okay defensive line, in my opinion. So I think he'd be a good shout. I think he'd be better in a 3. I think he'd be better at Tottenham, to be fair, with Conte's system and ball playing centre backs being a priority. But I think it'd be a good signing. I sort of see what Arteta's doing. He's trying to make the ball playing ability of your squad as elite as possible. So yeah, Lisandro Martinez is a good move. And then other links I've seen, obviously Rafinha would have been a good move. Tielemans, again, I've seen links with Tottenham, but it doesn't seem too credible. Tielemans, I think, is a decent is an upgrade on your midfield, definitely. So I think is a good move again. I just think it's about outgoings for you guys, and also I think it's about who you're giving contracts to and the amount of money you're giving contracts to, and that's sort of what I want to get your opinion on, because at the moment I don't know facts, and I'd like you to tell me that, but I don't know what exactly Saka's on, but he seems like he's on a very low contract to me, which is due renewal. But you've just given Gabby Jesus what seems to be a very large contract. So I feel like who you're going to prioritize, if you're looking at players like Rafinha, while Saka's currently in negotiations, it either has to be confirmed he's signing a deal, or you're looking to just cover your backs in case, you know, a bigger club might come in and swoop in, i.e. Liverpool and City. So there's contractual issues that I think still need to be sorted out. And Ketia, I think, was quite a bad move in my opinion. I think you can improve on that, especially if you're looking towards the Champions League next season. He's not a Champions League striker. So I know I've ranted on a lot, but I do want to get like all of your opinions on all of those things and see where it is, because I do think it's good things and it's definitely bad things at the moment also. And same you could say for Tottenham as well, but I do think there's some questionable deals being done sort of within the players remaining at your club, not necessarily coming into your club.
Gary, do you want to respond to that first?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to digest. Do I just pick one?
I'm so sorry. I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I guess I'll pick one because there is lots that we can talk about. Yeah, the Nketiah deal, I guess, is probably the last thing you were talking about, so I'll start there. I want the best for him, definitely. With all the holes that we have, I think that deal to me seems like a stretch. It seems like it's still more of a project for me. Is it going to work? I don't know. You know, I know he said he needs his minutes and then he'll show us what he can do. But that's not how it always works. I think a lot of players have built up their cred by just whenever they get on the pitch, you just see it and you go, I know it, right? I see it, I know it. Saka, that's what he did, right? He got his minutes, and then we knew every time we saw him, we're like, yes, that's how it works, and that's what we want to see. I know they're probably not at the same level, but that's what we want out of him, because he's not going to start every game. So for me, I just I kind of felt like that might have been a stretch, or could have taken that money and used it elsewhere. I understand why they wanted to keep him for, to be safe, but I think we need to take risks, especially after what we just went through. You let go two strikers worth what, over 500,000 a week. There's a lot. That's a lot of money that you were spending and not getting anything close to it. So to me, it sounds like we have the salary if that's where we're going. So for me, yeah, I think that might be a stretch for Nketiah. Just talking about the window as it is, Marquinhos, same thing for me. I think it's another project. I don't know what you see in him. I mean, I know a lot of people have said he's got a lot to him, but I don't personally think we need that right now, because we've got a lot of players that have a lot to them as well, like with the Patinos and Marcelo Flores, and we've got players that have, they have potential. So I don't know if, we'll see if that works out, but I kind of feel like that's not where we are as a team. We need some more solid, players coming in that actually have done it, and, at the top of their league where they're at. That's kind of what I think we need. Even, we talk about pulling players from other leagues, and yes, the numbers are going to drop, but he's only got 4 goals in his career. So if it drops, we're in trouble, right? So, that's why I like the Fabio Vieira. That looked really good. Sitting behind Diaz, right? I think is kind of how he got his chance, and he took it.
Really good.
And he finished up really good in the season, if I recall. So I think we've done good with those Vieira and Jesus. Definitely, I think a positive incomings for us. I really thought we would just go ahead and get Martinez once the whole Rafinha thing came about, and maybe we've hit our number, and I don't think we're going to go any higher. I think Martinez would definitely be a player I would love to see based on our issues with our back line as it is. So I think I've hit everybody there. But yeah, no, So that's kind of my thinking. I think we got a good window. We just have I think we still have some more holes. We're gonna have to spend. I think many said, are we gonna hit that 200 million mark? And I think we should if we have ambition to get to where we want to be. And then we just have to hope that we can keep some players healthy. That's going to be the key. As many have said, you take away 2 players at the end of the season. For us, that's too much of a thin line. That's too thin. We need to be able to. If those players are out, we're not going to drop significantly like we did. We should be able to maintain, because 3 points here, there, and we're looking much better at the end of the season. So, and I think the 3 points were there with a better squad. So, yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. No. And I can agree with some points you said there. The whole Marquinhos thing for me, I would say, is it was one of those early deals. It was getting done way before the window opened. It was to build a relationship with Sao Paulo as well. We've obviously given a fee for Marquinhos and to work with them. Edu knows a lot about them, and we know a lot of good young players come from Sao Paulo as well. So that's the whole thing with Marquinhos. Matty Turner, I can see why people question Matty Turner, but at the same time, look, he's an experienced goalkeeper. He's back up. He's willing to be back up at Arsenal. He's already talking to Ramsdale. And look, the Premier League have had a good history of American goalkeepers. We all know Americans can catch a ball, so it's one of them. Because obviously Leno's going to be out the door, so I'm glad we got that one done quite quickly. Fabio Vieira excites me, I must admit. I'm not going to lie to you and say I've watched him, but from what I've seen of him and of the profile and everything like that, it does look very exciting. And then obviously Jesus, well, he's better than what we got and what we had in the past season, and he's gone into double figures, and he gets a lot of assists as well. So and he plays anywhere along the front three. King, you're chomping at the bit to say something.
No.
Yeah. No, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the way we've done business so far, more than anything. I know a lot of people will say, well, you got to increase your squad because of subs, and things like that. But we've been more aggressive. We signed a player. I know it was only Marquinhos, but for an Arsenal fan, it's kind of like what Sid was saying in the previous lot. Like when he was talking about Tottenham and Levy and seeing, Darius must be excited. Seeing Levy actually back a manager, and again, I think it must be quite similar. Seeing us. We're not the ones usually this relaxed during a transfer window. Arsenal and Tottenham fans, isn't it?
Deadline day, we're arguing, isn't it? We're arguing at deadline day. We're getting ready for deadline day. So yeah, you're so right about it.
And it's the Chelsea and the United lot that are turning around to us and saying, "Look at the business Arsenal and Tottenham are doing." They're making moves. They're being aggressive. They're going for their targets. They're going in hard. They're going in fast. They know what they want. There's a clear plan, direction. A lot of the players, it's emerging that talks had started as, we've been speaking to Tielemans since before Christmas. No one's been hearing about it. It's been very hush-hush. No one knew, that we were linked to Vieira. There was no links, nothing in the press, nothing at all. I have watched him, with Porto in the Champions League and the Portuguese league. And he's a tidy player. He's, I think he fits the mold of, kind of volume creator that we're looking for in the center of midfield. But he also played a lot on the right when Diaz got his move to Liverpool as well. So I'm especially excited about him actually. Over Jesus, because Jesus is more of a known entity to me. I know what to expect from Jesus, but Vieira excites me in a sense that I feel like I see a Bernardo Silva kind of profile in there, someone in the middle that can really help you dictate play a lot more, control possession and also create, and I think in leveraging the creativity in upwards, I think will help even Nketiah, who I think can definitely contribute next season and definitely help Jesus as well. Jesus, I'm excited about in the sense that not only have we got a great striker, we've got someone whose pressing numbers are really good, works really hard, He's like a refined version of Lacazette. You know, his finishing's better. A lot is said about his numbers, but people don't look at the context of minutes. You know, the conversion rate for the minutes that he's played, which is very good, and just the experience that he brings to the team. You know, this guy's won. He's won 4 Premier League titles, Copa America. So he's also won with his country, the Olympics as well. The fact that Vieira's won 2 league titles in Portugal as well, and the fact as well, like that, a lot of the rivals were saying, Arsenal don't have Paul. That we've lost something. To be able to go to the champions of England, the champions of Portugal, take 2 players that could have either stayed where they were, or in Jesus's case, he had offers from Spurs, Chelsea. Not proper offers, but proposals. To put bids together from Spurs, Chelsea, AC Milan, Real Madrid. AC Milan and Real Madrid are bigger than us, and they got Champions League football. Obviously, he didn't want to leave England, so I got to throw that context in there. But Chelsea and Spurs, some would argue Chelsea have overtaken us in size. I wouldn't, but they've definitely been more successful of late, and have Champions League football. Spurs have Champions League football, and players are still prepared to come to us, of this stature, and give up Champions League football. And this is what I say. A lot of people say that we live in the past, but when you've got a history like ours, this is what you're capable of. This is what I say to people, and it's nice to be able to exhibit that to people. That we will always have Paul. We will always be a big draw in English football. Champions League or none. League title or none in the last 17 years. Arsenal is a massive club. And I think that's the main aspect of the transfers that excited me. That we are still mixing it with the big boys. Rafinha was very interested in coming to us. Barcelona was always his priority, and through these economic levers that Laporte's put in place now, they've got access to funds, and they're going to be able to pay for him. No shame in losing to a club like Barcelona, because they're a gargantuan club. So that's what's exciting me: the caliber of targets we're going for, how aggressive we're being, and the fact that, in spite of what some might say, the pull is still there for Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. And I'll tell you something else that I've been impressed with as well during this window is that the players that we have got and we're linked with, they offer versatility. And obviously with the whole 5 subs rule thing, that's massive for me. I just, Darius, I'm going to come to you because I've seen a. Obviously, this is referring to the stream which started at 8:00 with Sam's best life, and Nigerian Englishman wants to present this question to you. So let's just get into it because we're halfway through the final hour. So, Darius, do you think Spurs can win the league, or do you agree you are at least 4 players short of being dangerous this season? Let's have it.
All right. I'm going to answer this question literally. Yes, I think we can win the league. Do I think we will win the league? No. The reason I think we can win the league is because this season is going to be a madness of a season. A World Cup in the winter, I don't think it's happened in anyone's lifetime here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has it ever happened? World Cup in December I think people are going to underestimate how massive that is. I think they get a week off before the World Cup starts and a week off after the World Cup ends. That's no time for any player to recover and then play Premier League football. It's going to be a bunch of injuries in this season. And when I look at the 2 clubs who are obviously going to be competing for the league, they are both going through a phase in their team where it's big players are leaving and new players are coming in. And if they hit the ground running, then obviously that is fine. I think Haaland's going to hit the ground running and bag 20 goals minimum this season. And Nunez, I'm not too sure about. He might do it, he might not. But they're going through a phase where there's new players coming in and there's big pressure on them and big price tags. So with established strikers in Kane and Son, who both were punching very, very high, Kulusevski, who came in and hit the floor sprinting, not even running, with the addition of Premier League proven players in Basuma, obviously now we've brought in Fraser Forster as a backup, who is a starting Premier League goalkeeper last season. Obviously now brought in Richarlison as well, who despite the numbers maybe not suggesting he's as good as a price that you think he is, I think he fits Conte's system perfectly. And I also think for the amount of cups we're going to be in, we'll get game time. I actually think this is the most topsy-turvy a season's going to get for a while. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this season. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not getting clipped up by anyone because I know what Spurs are like. And if we're going to aim for the league, then it's going to be a bit of a disappointment for a lot of fans. So I think going for a trophy is the main thing. And for me, going as far as the Champions League and just having fun in the Champions League is the main thing for me. So if we get knocked out in the Champions League 4th place, we'll be out by December. Then we're back on a game a week. Conte on a game a week with the 6 new signings that we've got, plus more signings that could come in, I think is a very, very dangerous thing for many teams. As you saw last season, when Conte got a game a week when we were knocked out of Europe, we were probably one of the third best team in the league, maybe 4th best team, 3rd or 2nd best team in the league. So I don't really care if we get knocked out in the Champions League early because Conte will be on a game of a week. If we get 3rd place, we'll be in Europa League and we can go again and try and get a trophy. And if we go 2nd or 1st, we'll be in the knockout. So Champions League's a free hit for me this season. I'm very excited about the new signings. So I don't think we'll win the league, but I mean, this is the one season that will, if I ever say that we can in the next 5-10 years, this will be the season that will be the exciting one because this is Conte's 2nd season with a lot of good players, like serious, like I think 5 of the 6 players that we signed, including Spence, if he does come, instantly change our first team. So any other players that come in after these 6 players before preseason is a bonus for me. So I think we can. Don't get me wrong. I think we can, but I expect us not to. I think we can, but I expect us not to. That's what I'm going to say.
Very, very clever. I see what you did there.
PR answers, bro. PR answers.
No. I like that. And Pop should take note. He really should. What I will say though is, we all know why you signed Fraser Forster. He loves playing against us. He loves it.
He's ridiculous. I mean, I've got one friend who's a Celtic fan who waxes lyrical about one game Fraser Forster played in a League Cup final, I think it was for Celtic, and he basically won them that cup, and it was one of the most insane performances I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. So a 6'7" backup who's already literally a Premier League goalkeeper is fine by me. I'm very happy, and he does play very well against you as well. So we might even start him. We might not even be Laurie starting in that game.
But just one more question on, and this is on Richarlison. Obviously, you've probably seen that. I've never been his biggest fan. Well, and the King would tell you that when we were linked with him, I was having none of it. But does his temperament concern you in any bit?
No, if anything, it excites me, to be honest with you. I think we need that in Tottenham. I think if you look at the history, and I know it's a meme, the history of the Tottenham, you actually can see correlations to a little bit of a weak-minded spirit in running through the team, and a little bit of a, oh, well, we're Tottenham, so we're going to give up. We expect it. I think with players like Richarlison, judging from last season, that man, in my opinion, single-handedly kept Everton in the Premier League. 6 goals in the last 9 games. That literally is, if you don't score those 6 goals, they're not staying in the league. So he proved to me that last season he's willing to, when it gets tough, he's willing to, not give up. And him wanting to leave for the last 2 years didn't stop him from putting his all into keeping Everton in the Premier League. So I think given that and that attitude and mixing that with Conte, it's only going to get better. Mixing that with Romero, who they already have beef, but I think I think they're going to become best friends, to be honest with you. I think they're going to look at it and think, yeah, who cares? Like, we're in it now. We're together. You've got Højbjerg doing it in the middle, Richarlison doing it up front, Romero doing it at the back. Now it's like a full sort of spine of solidity and a little bit of, shithousery. So we need it. If we're gonna actually expect to or go for these lofty expectations, then we're gonna need a little bit of that in our team. So it excites me. I want more of it. And Jed Spence is another one. I mean, you look at what he was tweeting about Neil Warnock, a legend, and again, bringing that into your team at 21, I like that tenacity. I like to see that from players. So I think it's positive in my opinion. I don't know if people don't rate Richarlison. I think people may get their judgment clouded on Richarlison because I don't rate him as high as people may think. I'm not changing my judgment on Richarlison because he joined Tottenham. I think he's a good player. Don't think he's elite. I don't think he would have been as good as Rafinha. But I think people's opinions are skewed on Richarlison because he's a bit of a bastard and because he does that to the teams. And because you see him do that to your team, you're thinking, I just don't like that guy. Like, there's certain players you don't like, and whatever you think, you're always going to just have that opinion of him because he does that against your team. So I think he's better than people make him out to be because he's a little bit of a, an arsehole. So yeah,
he's got a good record against us as well,
He's good against a big club.
Yeah, he's got a good record against us. I remember him being a forward on our side a couple of times actually as well.
He's gonna, and this is what I'm saying. The same about Jesus. I am more fearful now that Arsenal have Jesus than Lacazette. It's without a doubt a question. That's why I don't get when people try to lodge the whole argument of, well, you spent 60 million on a backup player. That's a compliment. Like, you're making the team stronger. You're when Harry Kane is leggy in the game, you bring him off, you bring on Richarlison, who's buzzing to go and giving it all. You're gonna be more scared. Like, we're not bringing on Steven Bergwijn and these players anymore. I mean, Steven Bergwijn is decent, but this is the level that I'm trying to be at. We're not bringing on these players anymore. The level is, I want to bring off Bentancur and bring on Bissouma. I want to bring off Harry Kane or Heung-min Son and bring on Richarlison. That's the level if we want to go for these titles and trophies. That's the level you got to be at. So, and I'm pretty sure you guys understand that with the teams that you've been supporting before in the past. It's not 11. It's not even 15 at this point now. Now it's 5 subs. It's 16 minimum, 17 top quality players that you need in your squad. So I'm inviting it. The more the merrier for me.
Okay. Gary, what's your thoughts on Richarlison?
Yeah, I guess I was gonna. I think he's a good pickup. Yeah, I mean, many said he wouldn't make it at Arsenal. I think it's more because I don't think we have the makeup in our manager to handle a player like him. And I feel like Conte brings a little bit more pull. He's going to get a lot more respect probably from a lot of players that he brings in. Anybody who says he might be a problem child or anything like that, I think that's not going to be the issue at the Spurs. I don't usually say that name. So Darius, I usually just say that team when I'm on my show. So you heard it here. I said I'm going to be respectful in front of the fans.
Don't watch his mouth out afterwards, yeah.
No, exactly.
Listerine's right on the side, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I said the name. Anybody who knows me knows I never say the name just because I can't. I think for me, the key for Spurs is those two guys, right? Son and Harry. Basically, you start there, and then that's a good thing to build on. No matter what you do, I think the reason why they struggled as much is because they both weren't clicking together. And as soon as that happened, they looked a much better team, consistent, and that's a good thing to start with. I think if any team had those two players, they would be happy in terms of building around it. And if you're a player looking at a team to go to and you see that, you're like, maybe I want to try some of that. But yeah, no, I think Richarlison will be a good pickup for you. I know some of the jokes are that he's going to be on the ground a lot, so that fits in perfectly there. But we'll see, But I think he puts a lot of pressure on the back line, and like you said, Everton, because the DCL wasn't clicking for them at all much last season. I think he held it together as much as he could. And now he doesn't actually have to do that, but he's going to have, a better squad around him. So I think that'll be really good for him. Like you said, coming off the bench, and he'll probably start some games as well. So depth is going to be key, and that's Arsenal's problem. We don't have that level of depth right now. You do need a squad, right? We're talking about 4 fronts that you need to fight against, and we've got an extra one this year. So that's why I feel like we still got some holes to fill. I
think you guys are going to hate Richarlison. I have a feeling that come that first North London derby, he's going to be doing things that are just going to rile Arsenal fans.
He already does that.
He's going to become the most hated player in that team, more than Kane, more than most of those players in that team. I can't wait for it, honestly. I can't wait.
Listen, after the last North London derby, I never hated Son as much as I did. But with Richarlison coming in, he's going to forget about him. I know that for a fact. King, did you want to say anything on Richarlison quickly?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be honest. Before last season, I didn't really see much in him. Like, I think he was a good player. He won me over a lot last season. Our first game at Goodison Park that we lost 2-1, I'm sure he scored in that, the first goal. He's a good player. He's a good player. I think I would put Jesus and Rafinha above him technically, but I think that competitive edge that he's got and that physicality that he's got. I'm not saying he's like a brute or anything by any stretch, but I think he's got that in spades over both of them. You know, like just that desire and that hunger to want the ball. You know, that competitive spirit and edge. That kind of underhand, like kind of shithousery as well. I think
dark arts, isn't it, almost?
Yeah, you need that. You do need it. I don't implore it, but I think like you do need that. You know, like a bit more. Some players are made of a bit more steel, and I think their front four looks very dangerous, very very dangerous. This is the thing, right? Throughout my life, Tottenham have always had one or two good standout individuals. You know, you go back to your Gazas, your Ginolas, you go back to your
Armstrongs, your Everson,
your Bale, your Modric's, your Kanes. Like Son at the moment, like Arsenal fans won't want to hear me say this, but I still play in his position, like cutting inside from the left. So even though he plays for Spurs, he is genuinely one of my favourite players to watch at the moment. Big draw. I got the highest respect for this guy, man. The fact that he won in that PFA team, absolutely criminal. And I got no shame saying that. And I think to bring someone in that can like rotate and just give those guys a break, man. Son and Kane, man, being thrashed into the ground, it scares me. And it's like what Darius is saying. Now Tottenham are building a squad. Like I'm seeing, Romero. Loris has always been a top level keeper. I think Sessegnon towards the end of the season did well.
Getting better.
He came in. He did well. Højbjerg I've always liked. I've always thought he's a good player. I think Bentancur, he came in. He was a part of the difference. Kulusevski, wow. Wow.
That one I'm going to admit, I've been a bit. I don't know if you've been watching him since the Atalanta days, but that one I will admit I've been wanting him since he was at Atalanta. I didn't think he would do that well, but yeah, that is a wow. Gunnar King,
yeah,
a wow, yeah.
I think Son and Kane were in a bit of a dip until he came, and he literally became the binding glue between the two. I think like Richarlison coming into a more settled Tottenham. I think Conte is the right sort of manager for him. Like I see a lot of like those mental attributes, those mannerisms of the dark arts and like the shithousery. Conte was that kind of player. Conte had a temper. He still has a temper. Conte is an alpha, and I think they're made for each other. It's going to go one of two ways. I'll say that because they're two gargantuan egos. But I think if Richarlison could be tamed by anyone, it's definitely Conte. So I think this is the most competitive I've seen Tottenham aspire to be. Like I think the aspiration's always been there, but the actual putting the money where the mouth is. And for me, it's genuinely exciting. I don't want to say this crudely, Darius, but for 3 decades, I'm 38 now. It's been like picking a man when he's down.
Think about me, bro. I've not seen anything. I'm kind of fortunate as a fan because I didn't even see all of what you saw when you were just dominating.
Very fortunate, trust me. But now it's like you're seeing the shapings of a worthy adversary in terms of like competitiveness, and you're seeing the same with Chelsea, because obviously they've been doing their bits. I genuinely think next season, the top 4 race for those last 2 spaces is going to be between Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham, and it's going to be the biggest draw in the league. Because when you look at the rivalry of Man United and Liverpool, the reason why it's the biggest rivalry in England is because there's a rivalry both in a competitive sense, in terms of like what they're winning and it being very close, 66 and 67 trophies, but also they're regional, they're neighbouring cities. So when you've got the city of London, 3 clubs dropping 200 million on their team, like Arsenal and Chelsea, they're like, contending for, whose city it really is. And now Tottenham trying to be like, look, we've sat, in the shadows long enough. You know, like we are coming to usurp the both of you. I mean, look at the narrative, the way I painted it, right? Like it's box office.
My
It's a box office
my
draw.
head is
It's a
starting to
money
hurt,
fight that
and you know
everyone
why?
wants to see,
You know why my
friend,
head's starting to hurt?
And it's gonna dominate. It's gonna dominate what everyone is talking about in the league next season if it plays out how I see it playing out. And it is literally going to be, as I say, I think it's Liverpool and City are going to run away with it anyway. They're like they always do. But I think even when you look at how it finished last season, you were like, how many points behind Chelsea? We were 2 points behind you.
Not that far. I think it was
Like,
maybe
3 points.
three max, maybe 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't that far in the end. You lot were very
But
close to the one.
there was 5 points between the three of us. Not a lot that separated us. And if it's like that again, you best believe, man, that's where the entertainment in the league's going to be, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'd rather compete against a team where they're making you think, you know, like where they're making it, you know, a sport, you know, like I'd rather see it that way. I don't know what other Arsenal fans will say about that. And to be honest, it's not my business, you know, like that's just the way I am. You know, like I want to compete against something, you know, that is strong, you know, rather than just have easy pickings or, you know, my easy lot in life. So I
respect that
at the moment.
I respect that. And you know what? I kind of want to just, sorry, Tony, I kind of want to ask like the Arsenal fans a question, because you know what? God the King's actually, he's come on here, he's been respectful, he's been humble, and he's also given it as well. I respect Gunnar King for that. So I just wanted to wonder, because like you mentioned about Conte and the level of Tottenham increasing because of the Conte coming in. And for me, I don't really worry about Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy seeing Arsenal in as much turmoil as possible. But if I was an Arsenal fan in a completely random multiverse universe, completely off this one, I would be worried, because I feel like you're wasting time on the wrong manager. And that was proven to me when we had signed Conte. A lot of people would think you can't turn things around in 6 months. You can't turn things around in a year. I think you can when you have the right guy. And at the moment, to be fair with you, there's not many elite managers out there for picking. But I worry that you're almost in this notion that, oh, well, we're 4 years in now, we kind of can't get out. It's almost like a relationship where you're that deep in, you don't even really want to get out of it. And I just think if you sign these players like Rafinha, like Vieira, who I think could go and be as good as Bruno Fernandes, if not sort of on that level, similar to that level, because he's technically very good and the output is similar. And he's a young age. I think if you're signing these players, you need a manager who is of that level to bring you into that Champions League and keep you there. Because once you get into the Champions League, I don't think Arteta is of that level to keep you as a team like that. I think he's building something very good. I think he's sort of washed out all the negative about Arsenal that people sort of associated with. I think he got rid of a lot of issues in the club and has changed the ethos. But to get to the pinnacle, which is where I think Spurs are at, and I think it's different stages at the moment. So this could come in 2 years' time. But I think to get to that level that you want to be at, I think Tottenham now have realised you can have as many good players as you want. The manager is just important. And Conte now gives me all the confidence to say, yeah, we could win the league. Yeah, we could do this. Yeah, we could do that. Because even if we made all these signings and Nuno was still manager, I wouldn't be confident. I just wouldn't be. So I just don't know whether you guys are still sort of like 100%, even if things go well with Arteta, you still like, if you get fourth place or win Europa League, are you like 100% like keeping him? Or if an opportunity arises where, you know, an elite manager becomes available next year, would you guys be of the notion that, okay, we've built a squad now where we think we compete, we've gotten into the Champions League, we've won the Europa League, now it's time to take the next step? Would you have that mentality of, okay, let's get this guy to go and make that level? Because it fell into our laps and we got lucky, but now I realize how important that elite manager is. And now I can think a lot more higher and a lot quicker and a lot bigger because Conte's our manager. So I don't know if you guys are still like fully on that Arteta sort of project train, or if it comes an opportunity, you could find somebody to take you to that next level, you would.
Okay, I'll tell you, as you asked that, and we have got another guest waiting backstage.
Oh.
If we could get maybe a 60-second answer off each of you, then we'll
60
introduce our next
seconds?
guest.
Well, no, I mean, because can I get maybe 90 seconds? Because I was just going to say, when Nuno joined, my mindset was, well, you know what? They're doing a rebuild. They let go their two best players. They bring in whatever that comes to, 150, 200 mil, whatever it is, and they rebuild, because that's I don't, like you said, I don't think he's a Conte. So you're going to do a full rebuild. Arsenal, I believe, is in that situation. They decided, you know what? They thought that they could just bring in some good players and it would work, and we saw that didn't work the first year and a half that he was there. So they did what I thought they would do: start not throwing money, but giving him what he needs so that he doesn't have any questions on that. That's what they're doing now. It might be too late, but I think that's what they're doing, and that's what you have to do with a young manager. If this is the way you're going to go, I personally wouldn't do that. I mean, I think it's I think he needs to go on loan, right? I think he needs, like, if this was a player, what would you say? I think he needs to go on loan, right? He gives you some blips, some good times. We saw that in a couple of games this season where we're like, if that's what he wants, then I want to see more of that, and we barely ever see it because he just doesn't have his players, or he doesn't have the approach to get it across to his players so we can see it. Because everybody brings up that 30 minutes versus City, and it's like, if that's how he wants us to play, and if that's what we're going to do, then I want to see it again. I want to see more. We didn't get it. I don't think we got it enough. And we definitely didn't get it against teams that I think we were more superior to. So I'm like, well, then maybe something's not there. So yeah, I kind of feel like you said, you have to, I think you have to be patient if you're going down this road, and this is where we are. If they want to do it, we have to be patient. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait, but it looks like that's what they want us to do. And we got a little teaser, and I, like you were talking about, I always say you shoot for the stars, you hit the moon. That's kind of what happened last season. We had an opportunity to get third or fourth. We could have got third if we, put our heads down and did what we needed to do, but we got fifth, and that's okay based on where we started the season and what most people thought coming into the season. Fifth would have been fine, I think, for a lot of people. The fact that we had third and fourth right there, that we just needed to finish off the season in a really good form, that hurts. Because for me, that's like getting a good run in a cup and then making a silly mistake somewhere, silly moves, silly form, putting a player on the sidelines and then losing it and going, damn. Because you don't get those back. Right? I think that's what happened for us at the end of the season. So I know that hopefully that was 97 seconds, and it wasn't too much, but that was my answer on that. So yeah.
Okay, Ken, quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, I back Arteta. I think I get what Darius is saying about an elite level manager. Mm-hmm. What I would say, the draw to your team for someone like Conte, who's a serial winner. He's managed Juventus, Inter Milan, two of the biggest teams in Italy, Chelsea, one of the biggest teams in England. With the greatest respect to Tottenham, to go to Tottenham was left field. But when you analyze and look in a granular detail what would have attracted him, looking at Kane and Son, two world-class players, looking at a squad that had the semblance of good players in it, like your Romero, your Højbjerg, like it had its basic spine with like Lloris, so I've gone there from a good centre-back, good goalkeeper, two world-class strikers. All right, I can work with that. And this is why I think when people look at Arsenal, they look through the lens of league position, what you've won and stuff. Arteta has completely gutted that squad, gutted it. Like from, he's thrown out everything in the kitchen sink, and he's rebuilding the house brick by brick. So you wouldn't judge the house on its standard, before you've not put the roof on or the kitchen in or the electrics or whatever, like Arteta is very much still in build mode. Yeah, like, so
you've got the patience.
For me, I've got patience, man, like, because I've suffered enough anyway. It's been 17 years. The last decade was the first one I didn't see a league title win. I've seen what I need to apart from European stuff. So I'm looking at it more from the perspective of I want to build something that won't collapse so quickly this time, and there's no shortcuts in doing that. There's no, like we've rebuilt our defense now. The midfield and the attack is now taking shape in this window. We weren't the fifth best squad in the Prem last season. If you're telling me you could look at the squad last season and look at the other 19 squads competing in the Premier League, no way in hell was our squad on paper better than United. Like Leicester, you look at the players that they got, year on year finished 5th, you know, and above us. You know, the squad that they
Even
had
West Ham.
collapsed.
I mean, West Ham squad's
Yeah.
very good.
I mean, you know, like, look, there's powerful squads, but we outpunched them, and that to me says that the manager can do more with what he's got to win an FA Cup in his first 6 months with that squad again, to beat Chelsea and City in the process. He is doing more with very little than he should be. So if you give him more, that's the way I see it. This is my logic. If you give him the higher caliber of players to work with, and then he's doing more with higher caliber players than he should be, then in my theory, we should get to where we need to get to. You know, like, if he can win an FA Cup and get to a Europa League semi-final with some of the squads that he has done previously with relatively little experience, as he gets more, what can he do? Now, at the very least, it doesn't work out. He's fully built the squad. If we were to go try and get a manager now, and like in Conte's situation, when he looked at top, and it's like, all right, I'm looking at what I can work with here. I think it's more of a lateral move. If we were to sack Arteta right now, it's an up and coming manager with something to prove still. It's a Rodgers. It's, well, not quite up and coming. It's a Potter. You know, it's someone like that. You know, someone who has good credentials and has shown what they can do with less resourceful teams and come in and do the same thing. What I firmly believe is, after this window, if we go into next season, you know, looking at the improvements of Saka and all these other players, and looking at the players that we're bringing in, if it doesn't work out, we're in a better shape to be able to attract a top level manager. For me, my aspirations, if it didn't work out with Arteta, would be a Nagelsmann or a Hansi Flick, because they've worked with less resourceful teams, but built really good players. You know, like you look at the Leipzig, you know, the Nagelsmann especially, and how that punched above weight in the Champions League. You know, they had to work within the constraints of a budget, a good solid academy, developing good young players. That's what I want to see continue at Arsenal, you know, with the right mix of experience. So in terms of Arteta, really, I don't see him as the problem. I see the squad quality, depth, and experience as the main problem. And I see him as someone, whether we are judging the mistakes or whatever he does on the pitch, off the pitch, what he's built in our scouting network and our recruiting network, and how we're recruiting and who we're bringing in, the quality of them, some of them plucking from obscurity, just like Wenger used to do back in the day. Because we had to go back to that as well. You know, like, no one knew who Armoury was when he came. You know, no one knew who Vieira was. No one knew who Wenger was. No one knew who a lot of the players that Wenger brought in was. But they definitely knew afterwards. You know, and I'm seeing, not to Arteta's, I mean, not to Arsene's scale, but I am seeing glimpses of that in Arteta, the ability to bring in these players that largely unknown, but you know, really kind of improve them and use them to improve our team as well. So I'm not as focused on Arteta at the moment. I'm more focused on the squad improvements, and that part he's actually doing very well.
Yeah, and I was going to say, sorry, based on what you're saying there, for me, that's why I've always been saying for like the last two or three windows that we're 10 players short. He doesn't have enough. He right now, I always say, he looks at his bench and goes, I don't have the answer there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and it's like he doesn't. Now he's going to be able to look at the bench. He's going to see a Vieira there. He's going to see hopefully a better Soundby there. He's going to, if he gets in Martinez, that, you know, he'll look at his bench and go, I've got some players there that I believe, you know, can do the job for me. Whereas right now, towards the end of this season, he looked at the bench and went, no, I don't have it. I'm just going to move some players around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, we got 4? I'm still thinking we need 6, right? So, and that 6 is just so that we can compete in 4 fronts. So I don't think, you know, he needs to be able to look at his bench and see all of them, all of those players, and go, I don't care which one I pick, because I know this is the player for me. I don't think he's had that for a while. And that's, for me, I think that's the difference between him and a seasoned manager, because a seasoned manager will find whatever he can get out of you, even if it's 5%, he'll try to get it out of you when he puts it out there. And that's you know, it comes with time, and that's the difference between a seasoned manager and one that needs some time. And so for me, I always thought as soon as COVID hit and we were going to be out, I thought they would just throw money at him, just throw all that money, because at that point he didn't have everybody knew we didn't have a good squad. I mean, I think a lot of fans were like, damn, we got a lot of holes to fill still. And I would have liked to have seen him spend all that money early so he gets all his players. When we come out of COVID, he's got the players he's wanted, and then we run with it. But we went a totally different direction. It backfired. And now we're seeing them spend the money. And I don't know if it's what reason it is for doing that now, but he's getting what he wants. And hopefully that's when it's all him now. You know, after this window, there's no like, well, it's been a year. No, it's you're in your fourth year of managing a big squad. You know what it takes. We need to see something good. You know, Champions League for me or bust essentially is how it works. However you want to do it, you know, that means you've only got 2 ways to do that. So, you know, that's where you need to put your energy into this thing. So sorry.
Right, no, because Darius, I agree with King. I agree with Gary. I trust the process. We're going to move on quickly. But we do have a special guest in the house for a last few minute cameo. It's Monts from Big Six Bants. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Sorry I'm late. Thought I'll catch the last bit.
No.
Big up.
Got everyone in the chat, man.
Now, I'm right in saying you're a Liverpool fan, right? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen you on the channel. Well, I think it was one of the first guests I think we've had quite a long time ago. We played you in a home game.
Yeah, of course. I think I've been on it a while back, but I've been able a little bit. But like, I'm back here again. Obviously, good to see the fans, good to see the growth. I'm glad you guys are doing really well. Obviously, last time I ran into Gouda King was a bad day. It was a bad day for me, probably tell you. But obviously at Terry Studio. But yeah, man, obviously I'm just glad to see 4 good people in here doing really good work. And yeah, man, talking amongst, you know, Arsenal and Tottenham. Not saying I'm above it all, but yeah, I'm just here to I'm enjoying it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching from my side, I'm watching from afar. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching from afar. But thanks for having me. So honestly,
no, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on, sir. And you know, while we're talking about, you know, you're a Liverpool fan, of course. We had a semi-confident Darius thinking that, you know, Tottenham could win the league. How do you take that?
Pardon me?
He claims, but he did answer it very cleverly. But he says that Tottenham could win the league.
No. What's gonna happen is they're gonna challenge, like with Mourinho. Remember with Mourinho when Tottenham were doing really well?
Yeah, November League.
Yeah. So again, you're gonna do the Premier League November award. Maybe you know what? With Conte, I'll give you some more. I'll give you a little bit more. The December Premier League trophy. That's what you lot are gonna win. And then, as I said, we can do, like, again, everyone's covering the transfer stuff. Who's signing this? Who's signing that? You know, who's leaving? Who's coming? All that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be City and Liverpool fighting it out in the long run, because you can have this improvement in your squad, but to go the length, most men are going to fall off in January.
Is that just in general? Or is that because of the World Cup as well? Because obviously that's a big factor.
No, just in general. Maybe the World Cup might help that, but even a good Liverpool team has fallen off in January many a time that I've seen. So I know anything that Chelsea improved. Chelsea maybe might fall off in like maybe March, but Arsenal, Tottenham, I'm not going to mention United, but Arsenal and Tottenham, for me, Tottenham making really good progress with their signings and stuff. But I know they've got an elite manager and the hallway looks really bright at the end. But the way this league goes, it's all you know, competitive. It's all crazy up until Christmas. And then you get into the business end of the season, and it's just Liverpool and City. I hate to say it.
Do you think the new signings changed that, though? Because I was mentioning earlier on, I said, I think that will happen. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. But if there's any season where like something different is going to happen, Haaland and Nunez are 2 new signings. I think Haaland will hit the ground running. Nunez, I do think will do well, but I don't know if he's going to hit the ground running.
I think he's dead food, but I think Nunez is dead food.
It's just what I'm saying. Do you think that, like with the, it's not a transition as
it's not dead food? That's a stretch, but as I said, when you look
at City though, like City are potentially getting in Cucurella, Calvin Phillips, Haaland, Alvarez. It's a whole different team. Liverpool obviously
they're
got rid of
letting go of Sterling. Fernandinho has no kneecaps and he's gone as well.
exactly.
Gundogan is in the
So
last year
letting
of his
go of
contract.
Sterling
Bernardo
as
Silva
well.
also wants to go. People just ignore City's deficiencies because they're a small club. But
Ake
carry
and
on.
Saltfish is going to Chelsea as well. To be fair, so
What is it with Chelsea? I'm rebuying their own players for like triple the price.
it's
What's wrong with these
ridiculous.
guys?
So all I'm saying is basically
Yeah.
I'm saying if anything crazy is going to happen, it's going to be this season, because these are the times where your teams aren't solidified in your primes with your best players. There may be a couple slip-ups. There may be a couple hiccups with Nunes. He might not get the 20 goals that Mane got this season. You know what I'm saying? And Kane and Son are proven. Kulusevski has proven himself. And we're only improving with Bissouma, with, Richarlison. Come on, hear me out, man. Give me something. Give me, please, man. Don't make me sound crazy. Don't make me sound crazy.
I'm sorry to speak I'm speaking like I'm an Arsenal, but football is not played on paper. I know it seems great, it seems rosy, it seems amazing, but football is not played on paper. And what's actually going to happen is you lot will hit the ground running. I'm not saying you lot aren't going to hit the ground running. You lot are going to show good consistency. But Son, as good as he is a purple patch player. He's a purple patch player. So again, he scores his goals in bunches. So the second that Kane, does drop off, which doesn't happen very often, to be honest. I think Kane is a phenomenon. Son is a phenomenon. But a lot of people make the argument that Son is the most important player in the team, when in my opinion, Son is too purple patchy to keep Tottenham going. As I said, last season was Son's best season by numbers, but I think Son was actually better the season before that in terms of his all-round play, what he was doing to defenders. When Son does that, it's not a step over, but he fakes it and he goes. When he used to do that, you couldn't stop it. I promise you couldn't stop that. Like when Son does that, knocks it and he'll slap it and he'll just slap it and it'll go in. You couldn't stop that. This season, especially for the first, up until about February, Son was having a very meaty season. And then he switched it on again to the Son that we all know. So for me, you lot can't afford to do purple patch Son. He needs to spread it out throughout the season for me to think that you lot are gonna come anywhere near within challenging. I like Kulusevski. I actually really like him, to be fair. But I think with Tottenham, it's too hit and miss. And if you miss for too long, Conte's a ticking time bomb. So it's not as rosy as it looks, innit? That's all I'm going to say.
That's right. And if my calculations are correct, Conte's time's up probably around July. It's at the 18th month mark.
Listen, Silverfox.
He's getting back though. So
Conte's time's up when you stop supplying him with the green. When you stop supplying him with the money, that's when his time's up. And for me, I'm just saying this and this is a Tottenham perspective. The finance in Spurs is a bit ridiculous at the moment in terms of we have a lot of money to spend, and in the future we'll have a lot of money to spend. Tottenham make the most money on match day in terms of match day revenue out of any club in the Premier League. I think we made something like 4.2 million just off the Arsenal game alone. So there's money to be spent now and in the future. If we can continue improving, I don't see why Conte would leave. But I do hear you. He will suddenly just switch on someone and say, "Look, you ain't doing what I'm doing. I'm out here." But I'm saying it's different now. I'm saying it's not the same anymore. I think even if Conte leaves, he leaves the squad in a good position for us to attract another manager.
Like Arsenal overachieved. You could say underachieved because you obviously had the 10-game Nuno tax.
What, last season?
Yeah. Obviously, you had the 10-game Nuno tax in it. But like the gap weren't that big. And if anything, Arsenal, man, my language, they fucked it. Arsenal, they dropped the ball. You man were there to pounce, all credit, which is what any team needs to do. But to me, I think Tottenham are substantially clear of Arsenal as it stands if the window stays as it is. If Arsenal don't bring anyone else in, but I do think Arsenal will bring someone else.
Of course they will. Of course they will.
But like the gap ain't as big as what I think it is, because at the end of the day, what people seem to forget about Arsenal Football Club is that they put together certain runs at certain points in the season that were very, very impressive. And I'm not saying they were blitzing teams 4-5-0 that City would do, or that Liverpool. We weren't blitzing teams week in, week out. But it was just 3 points after 3 points after 3 points after 3 points. And it put them in a position where they should have just got top 4, where they overachieved. And I'm not bending over for Arsenal right now, pause, but I'm saying that when El Nani popped into the midfield, Nketiah got thrown up front, Cedric then played remainder of the last season. And apart from the fall off, they put together a mad string of games with Cedric, El Nani, and Mr. Call Me When You're Down.
I think we had the fake Brazilian.
The question begs for me, what would have happened if Tierney and Partey didn't get injured? Because I think that would have been lights out. I think I'm not trying to take away from what Tottenham did. You know, I respect the fact that they were the team that got fourth. You know, a lot of people say that, that this is an excuse, but the form we were in, as man's saying, before that, I think it was 8 or 9 games. So I think after our loss of our first 3, we didn't lose in 11. And I think that we had that consistency when our first 11 was on point, when it was there, when it was fully fit, and I think adding quality to that now, I'm not saying you, Darius, but I think a lot of Spurs fans are speaking as if there was light years there, and they're pointing at these things as excuses when I'm highlighting them as context. Yeah, I think if you ignore that context going into next season, it could be a problem.
I was going to say in January when my main thought was, Arsenal, please, you don't take the risk that you're going to get healthy. You're going to be healthy throughout the rest of this season because we had, like you said, we had nobody on that bench that we could look at and depend on, and you had to be lucky with injuries, COVID, just a regular sickness, or cards. We were lucky we didn't even get no cards. Put a player on the bench, I think, during that period, but injuries did. And since he wasn't playing that many players, it was pretty clear to me that he didn't have what he needed, and he needed to bring in 1 or 2 players in January to at least have a backup plan. And when they didn't, because the numbers weren't right, you saw what happened. I don't know what would have got us. I think it would have got us the 3 points we needed. That was the difference. That's the difference in where we are in the tables, the 3 points. And I think 1 or 2 players could have done that because we had some games that we lost by a goal, and we could have, I think that 3-game stretch, maybe we get 3 points out of that, or just whatever we needed, I think was there. 1 or 2 players could have done it for us and maybe got us over the line. And they took the risk. It didn't work. They can't take that risk anymore because I think every team that brought in a player, it helped them. Look at Liverpool, bring in Diaz, right?
Yeah.
And all these teams brought in 1 or 2 players, helped them get through this the stretch when you know what you got, and either you gotta you know where your holes are, and we knew where our holes were. Just we need to go out and get it. We weren't scoring, so either that was a striker. A midfield was struggling. You need some depth there, and of course Tierney and Partey, one of the two. We never know when it's going to happen, and so you kind of had some questions to be answered, and we didn't do it. And
and they're 2 leaders as well. They're 2 leaders in that team as well. That was
massive. I hear that. I do.
When Liverpool bought in Van Dijk a few years ago, they did it in January, the week before the January window opened. From there, the difference that he made. Yeah, I think. Yeah, those for me were the 2 key moments in the season. Not strengthening in January when I was confident we would. And
you were very confident.
I was very confident. Very confident.
Just not strengthen. You weaken because Maitland-Niles left. Of all players, Maitland-Niles is a utility man.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna weaken your squad, because as I said, during the window, you guys are playing really well. So I understand why it looked rosy at the time, but obviously Oba left for obvious reasons that we all know. But to let go of a player like Maitland-Niles, you can have your banter, you can have your jokes and rival fans, but the guy comes in and does a job, and he's better than anyone else that's coming in and doing the job. When you guys put in Patino and someone else in the midfield in the cup, you saw what happened. The drop-off was ridiculous. The drop-off was almost catastrophic. And to me, that FA Cup game was enough evidence to me to go, surely they got to buy. Surely you have to buy someone in January, or at least keep the squad. Don't let players go. I guarantee you, Maitland-Niles comes in and play, and Maitland-Niles probably comes in, and maybe even, and it's not about players not getting injuries. It's about preventing the injuries by bringing a player in that 1 in 5 games to prevent an injury. You know what I mean?
I think his last game, I think he won player of the match, right? The last game that he started, I think he did really well, and then we never saw him again, and then he was gone. Right?
Yeah, it was against Watford at home. I was there. Yeah, I was
No,
there.
I hear everything you guys are saying. Honestly, I do hear that, but I think context does go both ways as well. While Arsenal had a lot of injuries as well, you look at Tottenham. We lost Oliver Skip, who was having probably his best season so far. We had to go get Bentancur. Obviously, that worked out. Doherty, who I think is something to speak about.
He hit form.
Doherty was, I think. Let me not get this wrong, so I don't over exaggerate this. But he in 2022 had the 6th most goals and assists before he got injured in 2022 in the
Third
Premier
in
League.
your team.
Third in our
Third in your
team
team as well.
behind Kane and Son, and the 6th most in the league. We lost him 12-week season done. Romero in the last 3 games lost him, had to play Sanchez. Our right wing back, obviously Doherty went out, so we had to play Emerson. I think you all seen what Emerson Royale plays like. That's a disadvantage in itself. And then we lost Reguilon on the other side as well. And then we only had to play Session, who was barely coming back from injury. So for me, context goes both ways. I think Arsenal had disadvantages, but so did Tottenham. And at the end of the day, the quality in the squad and the experience proved that was the outcome. And we're only getting better significantly. So that's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying, and don't get me wrong, Gunny King, you're right. I'm not saying the level is significant where we're going to be like 20 points clear of you, 30 points clear of you. But I'm saying at the moment as it stands, there's a significant difference being made in terms of progress this summer. And there still needs to be a couple more signings for me to be like really worried that Arsenal are going to challenge for this top 4. Because as it stands, I think it's Chelsea and Tottenham, and then Man U and Arsenal competing. Signings Arsenal making, signings Man U making. If Man U get Frankie de Jong, you guys get Lissandro and another right winger, then it's going to be it's a 4-way shootout in my opinion. So I think it's all about this summer, but at the same time, I do think a little bit of respect does have to be put on what Tottenham had to sort of go through towards the end of our season as well, because we did have injuries as well during that run up. So no, I do respect that, but it's going to be tight regardless. Like you said, it's going to be tight regardless. All that top 4, all the squads around that, even West Ham, Danjuma, Lingard, they're being linked with, Brozier, they're being linked with. If they get those 3 players in, that's a serious team you're looking at. Newcastle are building as well. Like we can't forget about these teams who are also improving.
No, we can't forget about Newcastle. No.
So yeah, it's important to improve.
But what I'll say to that is, I think the difference between Arsenal and Spurs is obviously we were lacking the goals where you were, and you did get Kulusevski and Bentancur in January, whereas we didn't get anyone. So that was the big difference at the end of the day for me. But it's early. It's June the 30th. The window. There's still plenty of time to go. I think we're going to stay active. I like what we're doing. I like what I'm seeing. But hey, listen, it's going to be a long. Well, it's a short window really because the season starts earlier, but it's still going to be long because we know that's what the trade is all about. We are going to close up soon, so there's 2 comments here that I want us all to answer. So we'll start with James. How you doing, James? He would have been on today, but he's packing for his holiday tomorrow. He's going to Bulgaria. So have a great time, James. What's up, guys? Since we have both Spurs and Arsenal fans in the panel, who is going to have the better season, Jesus or Richarlison? 30-second answers. So, Gary, go on.
I'm going to say Jesus because I think one of the things that we were lacking was somebody up top who can score. He's going to get those opportunities. I know many have said you don't have that, but that was our problem. We didn't have that player like him sitting up top that can do a job on the front, in the middle, or on the outside. Wherever you put him, he's going to score. He got 8 and 8 last year. I'm expecting him to double figures for both. I think Richarlison he's not going to start as much, so I don't think he's going to help them, but it's not. We won't notice it as much. Right, I think Jesus will probably shine a little bit more because he's going to have more opportunities to do that. So that's kind of why I think it's going to be hard to tell. I think they're going to both bring something positive to both teams, but I just don't think he's going to get enough of the shine because you won't see it. And it's not a negative, just where that team is in terms of the squad depth that they have. He's not going to probably play as much as he did before, and they don't need to lean on him. Right, he did everything for Everton. He's not going to have to do that now. So you could probably see a dip in what you would expect from him in terms of playing with that team. So that's my answer and reason.
Yeah, fair. Darius?
I'm not gonna front. Gary, you literally took everything I was gonna say and said it perfectly. So yeah, I think it will probably be Jesus just based on game time. There's going to be way more dependency on Jesus than Richarlison. So he is going to have to hit the ground running. However, it doesn't mean that Richarlison isn't going to have a good season. For me, as a fourth player, if Richarlison gets 10 goals, more than 5 assists, I'll be very happy with that from a player who isn't going to start every game. And if overall, and that's just in the Prem, in all comps, if he gets 20 goals, for me, that's a good season for Richarlison. So, yeah, I think the expectations are less for Richarlison. And that means that I think Jesus will probably, with more game time, score more goals.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Monts, seeing as you're a supporter of neither.
It's just going to be Jesus Gate based on game time, really. Obviously, like that's just to reiterate what everyone said. I think the gap between Jesus and Richarlison is not as vast as people think it is. But at the end of the day, I personally think that even if the deal was the other way around, I think Richarlison is kind of more what Arsenal needed, because for me, what Arsenal lack isn't really the obvious. I think what Arsenal lack is more up here. It's the experience and the nastiness and the grit. I think Arsenal don't have enough players that are nasty. You have Xhaka, but it's not controlled. So you need to have controlled shithousery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be that type of guy, with control, otherwise you're just gonna see red cards when you don't need it. You know what I mean? I even think Gabriel, he's nasty, but again, sometimes it's a little bit out of control. Don't think he's a bad defender or anything. It's just sometimes it's out of control, and he gets red card. He doesn't even get that many red cards, but he'll get a red card when you actually don't, like the last thing you need. That's when he'll go get the red card.
He has brain dead moments, definitely.
Yeah, like he has the brain fart sometimes, but I just think the scouting department at Arsenal need to look for nastiness and grit and experience to add to the wonderful youth that you do have an abundance of. If you can combine that experience with the youth, then you won't have a problem in 3 years' time, because when you don't have experience with youth, the youth hit a brick wall and you get Man United over there across the road. You get Man United. So you don't want to be Man United in 3 years. Do you know what I'm saying? When you have the backings and you have the money because you're in the process and it's getting there, even though it's slowly, it's getting there. So yeah, bit of a long answer, but yeah, I think.
It's an interesting answer, because you actually got me thinking, because I ain't Richarlison's biggest fan, and I've made no secret of it on this channel.
I was going to say just on something to that. When we played Burnley last year and they beat us, they took 4 points from us. I said, well, you know what? The way that they're playing, that's some of that we need. They did everything. They were just all up in a grill, just like everything. It's like we don't have anybody to answer that call. Nobody. And you're right. We need a little bit more grittiness. We need a little bit more ruthlessness on the pitch, and put a hard challenge in or something, whatever it is.
It's like it is. You need how do I explain it? Because I like Partey, but the difference, what separates Partey from Rodri, not even so much Rodri, let me say Fernandinho before he lost his kneecaps and Fabinho now. These men will pick up a yellow card after 10 tactical fouls. 10 tactical fouls.
Because they do it very, very, it's majestically almost, isn't it?
I promise you, what Fernandinho used to do, I hate it, but damn, it's an art. It is an art. Casemiro does it as well. It's an art. Little clips, little fouls, little niggles. And it's affecting people up here. And then when they get the yellow card, it's in the 70th minute. No one cares by then. No one cares by then. How many fouls did Milner make before he got yellow in Man City Liverpool game? How many fouls did he make?
So true. It's so true. The thing is, it's a skill. It's a skill set.
Rodri against when we played City at home.
I hated him. I hated him.
I don't know how he escaped the card in that game, man. And then we got a red card. And you look at about 10 fouls that Rodri did in that game, yeah. And then you look at the 2 yellows that Gabriel picked up, and you're like, no, something ain't right here. Or who got the brown envelope? Who caught the duffel bag with the P in it? Like, what's going on here? Like, that's how bad it was. But you're right.
It's the skullduggery of football. When you make that foul, sorry, ref. No worries. You know what I'm saying? Like suck up to the ref a little bit. Help the player up. You know what I'm saying? It's all that skullduggery. Once you cause the foul, laugh at the ref a little bit before you make the foul. You're like, it's all that. It's all that stuff there. Do you know what I'm saying? I love Odegaard. I think Riera's a brilliant player, but get some grit and nastiness. Get a destroyer in there. Partey's good, but he's not nasty. In fact, if you bought to go buy a player from Atletico, he's the one player. Like, they're all like that. If you're coming from Atletico, you got to have about 50% skullduggery instilled in you just because of Simeone, just because of how he is. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I knew he wasn't the one when he actually ran off the pitch against
with the injury
against Spurs. I was like, no, you don't run off the pitch and then like have Arteta have to push him back on. I was like, okay, this isn't working.
Scored.
At least, if anything, fall down in front of the ball so the referee has to make a call. He ran away and then they went right behind him. And it was like, so yeah, I don't think we got the right one, but he's got the talent. He just doesn't have the.
He's a player. When he's fit, he's a player.
Yeah.
Right, so for that question, I think we're all in agreement that Jesus, and that's basically just based on the game time that he will get.
Football's full of surprises, by the way. And Kane also I've never wished injury on a player, but Kane gets his annual ankle injury. When he does get
and
that,
he didn't have it last season. To be fair, we got very lucky. We got very lucky with that.
When Kane gets that injury, I'd be so. I really want to see what Richarlison brings because there's going to be a point where Richarlison plays, and I'm actually very excited to see what he does in the better.
Once, I'll be honest with you, I was very worried until I saw, like I said just before in the stream, I was very worried until I saw the way he behaved with Everton last season. 6 goals in 9 games towards the end of the season to basically keep them in the league. I think he's got it about him. I think Conte will bring out more in him.
Did you know he's hit 13 goals twice in the Prem, right?
Yeah, but this is the problem. I'm not bothered about the output when we've got Kane and Son. I really don't mind if 13 goals is his max. Like Jesus is 14.
No, I'm saying that's a good. No, that's a good thing. I'm saying that's a good
thing considering the teams he played with. Yeah, not possession-based teams. Yeah,
for me, I don't. This is the thing. For me, if I'm paying £60 million, I'd expect more, mate. I'd like to be honest with you. I'd expect more. But this is what I'm saying. So for me, Richarlison has a role to play in this squad, and everything you explained about the skullduggery is exactly what I want Richarlison to do on the top half of the pitch. Son does it a little bit, Kane does it a little bit, but when you've got a spine of it, you've got Richarlison doing it at the front, you've got Højbjerg doing it through the middle, you've got Romero doing it at the back. It's going to be a menacing problem for all these teams go forward. And the grit is the issue that Tottenham had. Yeah. And I think the grit is, and I think you're so spot on about Arsenal. And it's not a bad thing to say either. It's not, I think the squad is there, the quality, you've got the quality in the squad, but sometimes you just need somebody like Højbjerg, who may not be technically the best player in the world, but boy, he will die for you and he will die for the team and he will make sure that he
the same could have been said in Wenger's era as well. Like Wenger seemed allergic to signing these types of players sometimes. Yeah. I don't understand. Like after Vieira and Petit and Gilberto, who I thought were the 3 greats in this regard, like what we're talking about here, like these guys, they definitely had like that edge to them as well. But Ray Parlour would come in and he would do the same. Like I really want us to get a 6. I know we're looking at Sekou Fofana. I really want us to kind of get that kind of player because if Partey goes as well, we're not in a good place. But that's where I want this kind of element in our team in the center of midfield because our wide players and our strikers are like fairly young and like quick and technical and stuff. I want us to add a bit more grit. Like Xhaka's got it a bit, but he's very clumsy with it. He's super clumsy with it. That's the thing.
He takes some silly yellow cards though, right? And he'll take a yellow card, and you're like, "What are you doing? That's not necessary." And then he'll get it. He might get another one, or you're like, "No, don't waste them." Yeah. And then he'll tell you, this is the way I play, and I'm like, that is not a good way to play. I don't know much about football like you, but that's not the right way to play. You don't need to take the yellow when there's no need. Because you could see him, he'll be chatting away, and you're like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. He's gonna run over somebody, run over the back of somebody, and then he's got to play a little safe, and you're like, that's not good. So yeah.
Last thing I want to say, by the way, everyone laughing at the Lenglet signing, but I made a tweet about Lenglet because I didn't keep tabs on him, so I didn't know after 2020 he fell off a cliff. I didn't actually know that, but. Why do people forget that 18-19 and 19-20 he didn't play 40 plus games for Barcelona, win the league with them, and was exceptional?
And do you know what? It's only €6 million the fee for the loan, and it's only €6 million the option to buy.
And he's better than what they got. Like the best version of Longley is a France international. He was in the team of Varane at one point. He's a
Conte improves if Conte can improve Ben Davis and Emerson Royale, I expect him to improve every player.
I can't lie. Whenever a player, because obviously clearly there was some emotion. I remember he cried after the 8-2 game, I believe, or something like that in the car. I saw a few things about that. I understand players when it goes left, they do fall off a cliff. And obviously, he's probably going to have a mistake in him at some point. But there's still such thing as high profile at their best. So when a player has a good season, when a player at his best, you know what they're capable of. I don't think it's a dud signing that people are making out to be like, oh my God, keep him away from my club. Because if you get the best out of him, suddenly you've got a centre back who's very, very capable of playing to a level that is maybe even high. How about this? The best Longley is better than Christian Romero. I know that sounds wild. I know that sounds wild, but the best when
Monts, we might
Barcelona
have
were
to have
winning
a private conversation about that
no,
one.
for me, when Barcelona were winning titles, the best version of Longley, the best version, Romero is a brilliant defender, but Romero has not hit those levels yet. He hasn't had the chance to hit those levels yet, bear in mind, and he will hit those levels. But Longley, at his best, was spoken about in a highlight. But again, it's again, I hear it because it's a double-edged sword. He's not in a great form, man. It's a loan. Can you get the best out of him? If you can, you don't be better, boy. If you can get the best out of Longley.
Well, we'll see. That's enough about them. No, this is an Arsenal channel. Anyway, so we'll go on to this last question. I do want to wrap up very, very soon. I just want straight answers for this one. And Niger Englishman has asked, what was everyone's moment of the season, by the way? Big up Monts in the building, he says as well.
This one's so
we'll
easy for me.
First. We'll go to
This
Monts
one is
first.
so easy.
Moment of the season?
Yeah.
Does it have to be for my team or can it be for any team? For my,
Could be for any team. Up to you. I'll let you choose.
Oh, there's so many. Oh, probably Salah's goal against City in the first leg. Like that moment there, like I can't because you know what it is. I know we didn't win the game, but I think I actually screamed. The emotion. Yo, when he sat there, man, down.
I was watching that game, but I was watching a live stream of like this. One of my favorite creators. Obviously, I make like TikTok content. This guy called Paddy Murphy. He's a massive Liverpool fan. He goes on the Anfield Agenda as well. So I was watching his live stream whilst watching the game, and just watching him go absolutely nuts. Like it was just, oh my God, filthy, man.
Yeah, go on, Darius, you shoot.
I'm sorry, Monts. I respect it because I forgot about that moment, but I'm gonna have to one up you. Steven Bergwijn versus Leicester, bro. I don't think there's ever gonna be a moment like that. I'm sorry. 94-57 was when we made it 2-2 and we won that game. And it was 5 minutes at a time. That's all I'll say. 94 minutes, 57 seconds, and we made it 2-2 and we still won the game. I think that's the best moment of the season.
I was fuming. I was in that game when that game was on. I was in New York City. Does anyone know the Pele soccer shop in Times Square?
Yeah.
So obviously, in the front, they've got the screens either side, didn't they? And they show live football. When I walked in, it was like the 90-odd minute. It was 1-0 Leicester. Get in there. Walked in there. Had a look around. As I've come out, Bergwijn's just scored the second goal. I couldn't believe it. I was fuming.
I couldn't believe it. I genuinely and the thing is, it's the magnitude of what it did to our season, and looking at the points tally now, had we not won that game, we wouldn't be in 4th place. So, I mean, that's the biggest farewell he can give me. I still can't believe with 5 minutes at a time how someone could score and make it 2-2 at 94-57 and still win the game. Thank you very much, Tielemans. That's probably why he wants to come to Spurs as well. So, yeah, no, that for me is the big one. And Kovacic's goal versus Liverpool, I think it was as well. That goal, I don't know how he scored that.
Well,
goal.
you say that, then you got to go put Naby Keita's left foot goal.
That was also we could do goal of the season, but that's a different story. So I'm not even going to get into that one.
For me, I'm going to be biased because I was in the stadium as well. We went 1-0 down to Wolves. And the thing is, the thing about it as well, Wolves had not lost or failed to win a game that they had gone 1-0 down in since 2018. Spurs had just beaten Man City but lost to Burnley. So this was like our chance to like kind of gain the ascendancy in the top 4 race. Had to win it basically. We equalised, and then being in the stadium when that second goal went in the 90th, like literally last kick of the game as well, the winner. The place went off. You could
feel it as well. You didn't have to be in the stadium. You could feel it. You could definitely feel it. Gary?
I was gonna say that game just because for me also is because Pepe actually did something in that game which we barely get to see it, and I know it's there, and I got to see it, so I was like that was really good for him. I guess I'm gonna say that City game. I forget I want to say I don't want to mess this up. I think I know we lost the game, but Saka scoring that goal in that first half for me was really good. I enjoyed that. I mean, because it gave me some hope that there's something in there for us. I was like, all right, this looks good. This is kind of what I want to see. So it was a moment, but it got the rest of the season soured it. But for me, it was a good moment. I always go back to that, but yeah, it was a good moment for us. Hopefully, we see a lot more of that.
But this was Premier League moments, by the way, right? Premier League only, right?
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna go with what King said myself, but listen, I was born in '85. When I grew up at school, it was always Arsenal, Man United. So many Man United friends, and when Bruno Fernandes stepped up to take that penalty, blast against that right to his face, and I love it. I sent that image to every Man United fan I know, and it just wound them right up.
We can all laugh at Man U. At least it's one general thing we can all laugh at.
That's one of those times when that's one of those times when they're like, "All right, you guys get to pick who takes the kick," and you're like, "All right, let's pick him," because we're not picking him. We'll pick him. We have a better chance, and he proved us right.
I was watching that with my best mate that I went to school with as well. We was watching it in Covent Gardens. It was the first time I've seen him. He's like moved to America, got married, so it's the first time I met his wife that day as well. And me and him were watching it just together on our own. And mate, the look on his face, when he saw Bruno step up, he's like, "What are you doing? He's going to miss it. He's going to miss it." And I was like, "No, he's not. He's going to score it." Like, and yeah, when he missed it, oh my god, the place went off again. Like, yeah, but Xhaka's goal in that game was a good moment as well, I think.
Beautiful. Was that the long range one?
His only goal.
In the bottom corner.
No, like he got on that in a couple seasons ago when he gave De Gea the swaz. He gave him the swaz and the ball swerved that way.
Yeah, every other year we get it's like a comic, the Haley's comment, but the Xhaka comment comes by and you get to see something like that. So yeah. He gives it to us once.
But listen, guys, we've gone up way over than we anticipated. But listen, when you start talking football, that's just what happens, isn't it? You get in the flow of things and you forget the time. But it's a school night and I do need to go to bed. So listen, Monts, absolute pleasures for everyone. Little cameo at the end there. Gary, DWTT, as always. We'll have to have you back on again soon. Darius, we love having you on again. We'll get you back on soon. King,
get off the screen, guy. I saw that, Darius. Yeah. If we sign him, bro, you got getting clicked. Yeah.
Bro, wait, listen, good King. I am deleting my Twitter for a week if you actually end up signing him. There's no way I'm showing this. Nah, look at this one.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh.
Guy, man.
He's a star on that one. But listen, I want to thank everybody who's been on stream today from 8 o'clock. It's been brilliant. We had so many guests. I can't go through them all. Thank you, Canners and Gumzo, who hosted the first 2 hours. Everybody's links is in the description. Monts, we're going to put you, because you come in last minute, we're going to put yours in after as well, with all your links in the bottom as well in the description. And listen, 1 year we've done it. And let's just hope the next year is even better. And next time Darius comes on, he's crying.
Listen, I'm having
seriously,
my chest puffed out.
Great. Yeah. It's all love. It's all love and hate, but it's all love. Anyway, we're going to sign off for the night. Thanks for watching. If you've stayed throughout the whole thing, and if you do rewatch the whole thing again, but listen, do like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Catch us on Twitter. Like I said, all the links are below, and we are signing out. Thank you, guys.
Peace.